local event here in Valley. We all want good food for reasonable prices with a friendly face behind it. Well, luckily, there's an option. The Food Guy. Located in his signature truck, keep an eye out for him at the next public event you make an appearance at. Or if you're hosting an event yourself and want a friendly catering option. Or if you have other questions, you can call him at 316-253-8832.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
One of a parent's biggest worries is letting their teen get behind the wheel of a vehicle. That's why getting professional, personal instruction is so important. The Wichita Driving School is licensed by the state of Kansas and offers the most classes per month of any driving school. With the most students trained in Wichita last year, it's obvious students and parents like Wichita Driving School for the convenience
and professional one-on-one instruction.
Wichita Driving School, where you're driven to be the best.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
Hi, I'm Caden Bastian, joined alongside Caleb Rose. And
Whenever we go to a local event here in Valley, we all want good food for reasonable prices with a friendly face behind it. Well, luckily, there's an option, the food guy. Located in his signature truck, keep an eye out for him at the next public event you make an appearance at. Or if you're hosting an event yourself and want a friendly catering option. Or if you have other questions, you can call him at 316-253-8832.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
One of a parent's biggest worries is letting their teen get behind the wheel of a vehicle. That's why getting professional, personal instruction is so important. The Wichita Driving School is licensed by the state of Kansas and offers the most classes per month of any driving school. With the most students trained in Wichita last year, it's obvious students and parents like Wichita Driving School for the convenience.
And professional one-on-one instruction.
Wichita Driving School, where you're driven to be the best.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
Whenever we go to a local event here in Valley, we all want good food for reasonable prices with a friendly face behind it. Well, luckily, there's an option, the food guy. Located in his signature truck, keep an eye out for him at the next public event you make an appearance at. Or if you're hosting an event yourself and want a friendly catering option. Or if you have other questions, you can call him at 316-253-8832.
Hi, I'm Caden Bastian, joined alongside Caleb Rose, and tonight we have an exciting matchup with the Goddard Lions facing the Valley Center Hornets. Goddard Lions coming into Valley Center with a record of 1-0, defeating Buhler last week with a score of 35-20, and your Valley Center Hornets with a record of 0-1, losing to Hutchinson with a score of 21-13. Goddard beat Buhler on a very passing-heavy offense last week.
Well, and real quick, I want to mention, Caden, we're socially distancing here with no masks, so in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. But yes, this Goddard passing game is incredible, one of the best in the league. They're led by starting quarterback Kyler Simrad, a 3-year starter, and he's just amazing at everything he does. He's the focal point of this offense. Last year, he missed 4 games and still managed to pass for 1,000 yards throughout the course of the season. Really an incredible player. And last week, he passed for 344 yards, 5 touchdowns, and that was in 1 game. It was truly a masterful game that he put together, and I am so excited to watch him play. He did an amazing job last week, and with this offense, I mean, he has everything set up for him. He didn't get pressured at all. That is one of my keys to the game, is that the Hornets have to pressure Kyler Simrad. And then there's Jake Shope, starting receiver, the primary receiver. He also had an amazing game. Last year received about 434 yards, and then last week alone had 242 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns. And that was 1 game, especially for a receiver, that is just incredible. And then this offense, running game, as we mentioned, it's mostly passing game, but running game isn't as much, so don't expect to see that as much.
And the Goddard defense, on this other hand, did a great job of being quick and agile against the Buhler offense.
And they forced a lot of turnovers, forced 4 turnovers, and then this defensive line, they did a good job of blitzing, twisting every single time to keep that offensive line guessing. Secondary, they do play mostly man, but they will line up at about 6 to 8 yards every single time, so expect to see that from the secondary.
And on the other hand, the Valley Center Hornets losing a close game to the Hutchinson Salthawks with a score of 21-13. They battled back and got it within 8, but they weren't able to capitalize.
Well, and I mean, that was a solid game. I saw a lot of positives in that game, and yes, it was a loss, but there was a lot of room for improvement and a lot of positives to see from that game. Last year, this Hornets team would have rolled over and accepted defeat, but this year, they weren't having that. They were going to fight back. They were going to get on that board and make sure that they're not going to lose that week, and it was a close one. They put up a solid fight in that game, but it just wasn't quite enough. Caleb Harden passed for 107 yards, a solid performance from him. And then Cameron Kaufman, being the only player to score a touchdown, had 56 rushing yards. So solid performances from some new guys. And then defensively, we saw Hunter Sharp with 21 tackles and a pass defended. So pretty solid game from him. And overall, this Hornets team had a lot of positives last week, but they still have a lot to improve on early in this season. And if they can capitalize on some of the things they did in last game, this can be a very winnable game.
And this will be an exciting game. That will do it for pregame. I'm Caden Bastian, joined alongside Caleb Rose. We'll be back here at Hornet Studios in a few minutes for kickoff.
One of a parent's biggest worries is letting their teen get behind the wheel of a vehicle. That's why getting professional, personal instruction is so important. The Wichita Driving School is licensed by the state of Kansas and offers the most classes per month of any driving school. With the most students trained in Wichita last year, it's obvious students and parents like Wichita Driving School for the convenience
and professional one-on-one instruction.
Wichita Driving School, where you're driven to be the best.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
but I'm excited for this one. As you mentioned in pregame, there's a lot to look forward to. Kyler Simrad, who will be a captain for the coin toss, he's just an incredible quarterback and does everything right there. News stations on the other side, on Goddard's side, just filming him and getting the action shots of him because he is the primetime guy, especially in the Ark Valley. Especially in Ark Valley. I mean, he's just a talented player, a good leader. He does everything right, and he showed it last week. As we both mentioned in pregame, he had 5 touchdowns last week, and just an incredible player.
And I think this will be an exciting matchup. Valley Center coming in at 0-1, but losing a close game to Hutch, 21-13. They had a little bit of momentum, but didn't capitalize, but it was still a good competitive game. And Goddard coming in at 1-0, defeating Mueller with a score of 35-20. And Goddard's very pass-heavy offense, and I think that the Valley Center Hornets will have a good time here trying to keep up with Goddard, but I think their secondary will get the job done.
Well, and here are my 3 keys to the game for both sides. So we have the coin toss here. My keys for Valley Center. First off, pressure Simrad. He was not pressured at all last week, so keep some pressure on him. Keep him nervous in the pocket. Then find and maintain offensive consistency. You have to find an offense that works every single time, every single drive. And then the third one is communicate. Everything going against this Goddard team, they have to be able to communicate and get everything done correctly. Then for Goddard, they need to spread the ball. That's what they do best. That is spreading the ball through the air. And then front 7 attack. This Hornets team was very run heavy last week, but if the front 7 does a good job here, they can win defensively and then protect Simrad for Goddard. And so Valley Center won the toss. They'll defer to the second half, and we will see this Hornets kickoff team come out here to start.
And I think the Hornets coming out here with a little bit of energy from that loss last week. I think they're ready to come out here and capitalize and get the job done, because starting off with a loss is not what they wanted, but it's what they have. And I think the Hornets are going to come out here with a vengeance. And last year, the Hornets did defeat Goddard, but Goddard was without their starting quarterback. And now this week, Goddard does have their starting quarterback. Number 10 is Brooks Sullivan in. Oh, excuse me, Kyler Semrad in. And I think Valley have a tough matchup tonight, but I think if their defense can come out here and stop their pass game, I think it'll be a very, very close scoring game.
Well, and you said the Hornets are coming out here with vengeance. I can pretty much say the same thing about this Goddard team. They did not have a fun time last year. They did not have a fun game last year against this Hornets team, and so I think they're looking for a little bit of revenge here. I think this will be a really interesting matchup. And so Hunter Sharp here to kick off. And back deep to return here for Goddard. That's number 6, Reese Beeson. Clock shows 12 here in the first quarter. And the ball is away. Game is underway. It's received by Hamilton. And he breaks off to the right side. Shirley there to drag him down, but not before he gets a solid return of about 42 yards.
And that was a good job there, just escaping that tackle, because as you can see, that was a short kick, but Valley was coming in. They were swarming at that ball, and that was a good job of getting around that tackle, getting to the outside and gaining a few yards on that carry there, on that return there, excuse me. And so now Goddard is set up with a 1st and 10 at about the 42-yard line.
Well, and I'm excited to see how the secondary will be. It's very talented, very young for the Hornets, and they have a huge test in front of them. I'm interested to see how it'll go. Twins to the left, a tight end as well. Pistol formation for Simrad and a receiver to the right as well. They'll roll out to the left, fires on a little sit route, and it's not there, intended for Bo Bance, but it falls incomplete.
And that right there is just a missed throw. Hornets are going with zone coverage on the first play. Everyone starts fanning out to the right because the QB is scrambling out. And so with that throw just off the mark. But I think that if they throw that play later in the future, I think the Hornets are going to be ready for it. But that was a good solid start there by the Goddard.
Pistol formation here. Twins to the left, a motion from the tight end. High snap. It's fumbled around with. Simrad decides to protect the football. He'll go down with it. but it will be down in the backfield.
And that is exactly what Valley wants there. A little bit of momentum going into third down here, third and a ways. And so I think Valley's going to come in to this play with a little bit of energy and a little bit of focus. And I think Valley's going to maybe capitalize unless if Goddard decides, hey, I'm going to start going deep with this play.
Well, and that's what you have to expect here. It's third down and long. You have to be cover 3, cover 4, something like that to protect the chains. But, I mean, that could have a ripple effect. The Hornets come at this down with momentum, and then they come out on the offensive side with momentum. If they do get the ball back, then that can have a ripple effect and end in a long-term loss. Simrad rolls out to the right, falls incomplete, and he is just being pressured. I said in the beginning of the game, pressure the quarterback. He did not have any pressure last week, and it shows. He is flustered.
And a great job there by the Hornets defense going at that quarterback. And again, this is an all-star quarterback, Kyler Semrad. He is a very, very good passer. And so it's a good job there by the Hornets defense of going at him, making him pressure to him to get the ball off fast.
Now on the punt team, 4th down and 17. That's Jacob Reed back to punt, and then Hunter Sharp will be the single returner to the back. And Sharp and Peach returned last week, but now it'll be just Sharp. Reed with the punt. It's end over end, not much hang time. And it'll roll to about the 35 before it is touched by Goddard. So that'll bring up Caleb Harden and this offense.
And that is just the momentum that Valley needs. A quick 3 and out there by Goddard, and Valley defense coming out, and they're playing quick, and they're attacking at that quarterback, and that is exactly what they need to do, is just maintaining and keeping with this all-star QB, Kyler Semrad, because he is a very good passer, and I think if Valley just does a good job of attacking at him, I think that it's going to go well for them in this game.
Well, now I'm interested to see with a strong front 7 for Goddard, how will this more run-oriented offense affect this Goddard team? And they'll go a quick count, and that is something I failed to mention in the pregame, but this Goddard team likes to time the snap count. They like to try and draw false starts, that kind of thing, and clearly worked against them in that instance. So it will be a 5-yard encroachment on Goddard. Brings up 1st down and 5, and with a defensive possession as well as it went, and then early penalty on a drive. I mean, things are looking bright for the Hornets.
That is exactly what the Hornets want. A little encroachment call there, and that is good momentum for the Hornets.
Double fullback I formation and split tight ends. There goes Kaufman up the middle. And clearly the double fullbacks worked. He gets enough for a 1st down and a little bit more.
Great job there by the line of creating a hole for Cameron Kaufman to run through, and that's just a great job of attacking that hole and getting that 1st down. And that'll cause a 1st and 10 for Valley Center at the 46-yard line.
Well, and I love that double fullback formation against a 3-4 defense because there are 2 middle linebackers, and so those 2 fullbacks can block the middle linebackers, clearing a way for a long-term run by Kaufman. He'll get it to the right. Off to the races he goes, gains about 7 yards there, and last week in his game, he averaged 2.7 yards per carry, not what he was looking for in his performance, but right now he's getting off to a good start.
And that is just a great job of attacking that hole and finding the hole. And Cameron Kaufman, they're gaining some yards on the carry. I bet they'll keep handing the ball to him because he is gaining a lot of yards on these carries.
No, and if it's not broke, don't fix it, and that's what they'll do again. Give it off to Kaufman. He's wrapped up in the backfield. The 3rd time was not the charm there. So 3rd down and 4. So, I mean, you have a manageable down. What do you think they do here? Continue running the ball maybe to the outside, or do you air it out right now?
Well, Caleb, I think on this play, I think they would air it out. On a 3rd and 4, they want a conversion here, and I think if they run it, they're taking their chances because on that last play, Goddard did a great job of attacking at that ball and getting Kaufman, and I think this time they'll go for a pass.
And they'll line up in a little bit more pass-oriented formation. 2 tight ends, receiver to either side, and a false start in the backfield. Now it's 3rd down and 9, I believe, and a tough break there. So false start on the Hornets.
And that right there just, it's not what Valley wanted in that situation just because that just ruins their momentum right there. That a 3rd and 4, a 3rd and 5 now turned into a 3rd and 10. And that right there is now going trying to get 4 yards, but now trying to get 10. That is not what they want.
And so I'd expect them to air it out on this play. Under center is Harden. He'll give it to Warner. Off to the races goes Ben Warner. And he'll run through a player, but it's not enough to get a first down. We're up 4th down and 4 now. And Warner had 6 carries, 16 yards last week. Not your top of the stat line type of guy, but he did his job. He got us some solid runs, especially for a fullback. He's doing his job well, just not able to convert there on a 10-yard run.
And right there, that was just a good job of lowering your shoulder and running, because sometimes you can't find a hole, so you just lower your shoulder and run.
Double fullback formation again. Clock is stopped, whistle blown. And it will be a timeout. Goddard, they'll talk it over before 4th down. We'll see you back here at Hornet Studios in just a minute.
Whenever we go to a local event here in Valley, we all want good food for reasonable prices with a friendly face behind it. Well, luckily, there's an option, the food guy. Located in his signature truck, keep an eye out for him at the next public event you make an appearance at. Or if you're hosting an event yourself and want a friendly catering option. Or if you have other questions, you can call him at 316-253-8832.
And we're back here, 8:16 in the first. It's 4th down now for the Hornets. A sweep to Cameron Kaufman. Has some speed behind him, but doesn't appear enough to get a first down.
And a good job there by Goddard just attacking at that ball. The first 2 runs that Valley ran, Cameron Kaufman was getting some yards on that carry, and I think now they're seeing that, and now they're planning for a run because they know that Cameron Kaufman has some speed and has some agility. They're saying, okay, well, now we need to isolate him and tackle him pretty quick so we can get that ball back.
Well, that's one thing I love about the Hornets is they continue to stay patient. They know it's not going to work out. They're not going to get a long drive on the first drive, but stay patient and something will come. Handoff out of the pistol formation, and it's not there. That was Dylan Reese on the carry. He's brought down in the backfield.
And a great job there by the Hornet defense of attacking at that ball, and they're just getting right past that O-line and going right for it. The Valley D-line is just doing a great job of picking apart this Goddard O-line so they can get to that ball, and you can see right there just a loss of yards. Just great job there by Valley of getting that ball.
Well, this offensive line is a mainly pass-blocking offensive line, so they come off high, and the Hornets are coming off low, and they're winning these battles. Simrad pressured early. He rolls out to the left. He's going to take it on his own. He has plenty of room to run, gets a first down and about 10 yards more on that play. A flag on the play, and it was after the whistle was blown.
Great job there by Simrad of just taking that ball for himself. Sometimes you can't find the correct pass or can't find someone that's open or nothing's working out, so you just take it yourself, and that's a great job there of getting through and getting that first down and then some.
Well, and he had a lot of speed on him when he took off past the line of scrimmage, and it just shows his athleticism as a quarterback. It's fun to watch him play not only for his arm, but for his athleticism as well. It definitely showed there. We're waiting a call here from the ref. And it will be unsportsmanlike conduct on Goddard. 15-yard penalty and a huge break for the Hornets there.
Right there is just not what Goddard wants. After that big carry there by Simrad, that is just not what they want. A 15-yard penalty, and a good break there by Valley. That was a pretty lucky break there by Valley of them getting that call and getting pushed back from what would be 20-yard play. It's now pushed back, but still first down.
Well, now you're not as close to the red zone. Good opportunity here, but this Goddard team is a big play team, so something to watch out for when you're reaching about midfield. Simrad out of the pistol, motion around, a toss play. And taking off there, that's Bo Bantz. He's got a solid gain there of about 8 on the jet sweep.
That was a good job there of knocking off that tackle. You can see early at about the 50-yard line he was hit, but he kept going. He didn't let that one hit bring him down, and that was a good job of shaking off that tackle and moving ahead and It was a good play there by Goddard, gaining some yards, and now a manageable second down.
Well, and Bo Bance only at 5'8", throwing off a defender like that. That was pretty impressive play to see from him, and he's the perfect type of player for a jet sweep. Good call there by Goddard. Out of the pistol is Simrad. Twins to the left. He'll drop back. Not pressured as early this time. Go route to the right side. Wilson is there to make the stop. No flags fly, and pass is incomplete. So a solid defensive play there by Cade Wilson.
And that just shows off Simrad's arm of him airing it downfield. And the pass was about at the 5-yard line whenever it came down, but just was not completed. And I think we'll be seeing a lot more of those passes tonight with his arm and his athleticism. I think we'll be seeing a lot more of that tonight.
Well, and one thing I forgot to note, that pass was to Jake Shope. It's not, or it couldn't be more fitting that the first long pass was to Jake Shope, because that's who Simrad feels comfortable with. Under center, quarterback sneak there from Simrad. He pushes the pile forward and gains enough for a first down.
That was a pretty nifty play Goddard just did right there of confusing that Hornet defense. You know, just taking it under center and taking it yourself to get that first down on that third down. A smart play there by Goddard of chugging through to get that first down.
Well, especially that there are two levels to that deception. I mean, that is the first under center snap that Goddard has taken all day, and so to pull that play on your first under center snap, it's certainly confusing the defense. Tight end shift. Flags fly before the snap. It is a false start, and it didn't seem like Simrad had motioned him, and it wasn't calling out any audibles, so will be an illegal shift there.
And that's just what Valley needed to push him back a little bit, because Goddard's here gaining some momentum after that first down, and that's what Valley needed, to push him back a little bit to get about first and about 15.
Twins to the left and a tight end. Simrad in the pistol. Handoff. There goes Reese. Spinning his way through. Runs over a couple players and get a couple yards on that, about 3 or 4 yards. Bring up second down and 11.
That was a great job of knocking off tackles and getting to that 2nd and 10. And I think that was just a great job, because he was getting wrapped up there in the backfield, but he shook off that tackle and chugged through. But there was a swarm of Hornets around him. But he did. He shook that off, and he managed to get to a 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10 here. Simrad. A motion again. He'll drop back. Another deep pass. This time it's open, and it falls incomplete, knocked out by Caleb Peach on second down, and that is the definition of clutch.
And that is exactly what Valley needed. A great play there by Caleb Peach of knocking that ball out, and that's a great job of maintaining and keeping with that receiver, because Kyler Simrad, he's a fantastic quarterback, so you know he's going to have that pass on point. And it's a great job of staying with that wide receiver and knocking that ball out of the pocket.
Well, I'm actually going to respectfully disagree with you, because you have Soren Carr going down the sideline, and that pass, he had to chop his feet a little bit, slow down. And so I think it was fortunate for Peach that the ball was a little bit short of where it should have been. Simrad drops back, a screen play. There goes Bance. He trips, and he's brought down. And looked like he would have had a lot more than that had he not just lost his footing.
And that right there was an interesting play. That Hornet defense was coming at Simrad, but he saw his receiver open, so he threw it in the middle, and he got some yards there on the carry. If he hadn't have slipped, it wouldn't have been quite a few more, but that was still good to get some yards out of that play.
Well, it's fourth down here. Keep in mind that Kyler Simrad is the typical punter here for Goddard, so don't be fooled by a quick kick. A motion around. Simrad fires over the middle, and it's caught for more. And there goes Tyler Haskell, a former offensive lineman, making the catch. And that was just a little sit route there in the zone coverage there. He finds the gap and makes the catch.
I think that was a smart play by Goddard of staying out there on that fourth down and trying to convert, and they did convert. And that was just a great throw and a great catch, and he was holding on to that ball, and he had some defenders around him, but he shook them off, and he went.
Simrad out of the pistol here. Toss around. There goes Bance once again. He's pursued, but looks like enough angle to get the first down.
Vance is really quick off this ball, and that was just the perfect play there of getting out to the outside and trying to go for that end zone. And so now we have about a 2nd and 1, and that was just a great play there by Goddard, getting that ball to the outside.
Well, and that's the thing to consider about Bance is when you have those little toss sweeps to the outside or the wide receiver tosses, it's too hard for the linebackers to pursue him, so they can't really hit him very hard, and then you have the cornerbacks on the outside who are just trying to wrap up and tackle him. So Simrad out of the pistol here once again. Handoff, there goes Reese. Finds a little gap. It looks like he has enough for a first down.
That was a good job there by the Goddard O-line of creating a hole. You can see left tackle pushing that blocker way out so he can get as much room as he needs. And so that was just a great job there by the Goddard O-line of creating a big enough hole so he can have some room and some space to work.
Well, and with a guy like Reese who isn't exceptional in any point, he has every talent he needs, but exceeds a little bit in speed, so getting him that edge is going to be something that Goddard will want to continue to do in the run game. Simrad out of the pistol, twins and a tight end to the right. He'll roll out to the right. On the goal line, fires, and it's over the head of Jake Shope. And Wilson on the coverage there, but just a tough throw there from Simrad.
Now just an overthrow there, and that is not what Simrad wanted, but I think he's going to be coming in this next play, remembering about that, keeping that in the back of his head, just saying, do not overthrow again. And I think this time he'll come out with a vengeance, and I think that is just some momentum that Simrad needs.
Well, and he's trying to lob it over the head of a defender there. That's a tough route to get or to throw to, and that's why he was rolling out so he could get a better angle on that throw, but still off the mark. Motion from the tight end. Handoff. There goes Reese trying to push his way through the pile. And it will fall, but not enough to get a touchdown. Looks like ball will be marked around the 1 yard line.
And this Hornet defense is out here really pushing to try and get Goddard to not score here, and they're doing a good job of attacking at that ball because Goddard keeps running it here. And Valley is just stopping that run and stopping that run. And now we have a third down here, and so Goddard here trying to capitalize.
Split shotgun. Handoff again to Reese. He'll punch it in. Touchdown, Goddard.
Good job there of Goddard of just punching it right up the gut. And sometimes you can't find a hole, so you just lower your shoulder and run. And that's exactly what Goddard did there, of just punching it right up the gut to get that touchdown.
Well, an unsuccessful drive last time, and they had some adversity here on the offensive side this time. And so, I mean, they struggled a little bit, but they were able to keep an interesting two-point conversion play. And I'm not sure if it'll be enough. A very odd set of events here. Not enough to convert the two-point conversion, but that was very odd.
Interesting play there by Goddard, but I kind of see where they're going, trying to get it to the outside, but that was very interesting. I've never seen that before, but a very interesting play, and so I see what they're trying to do is motion out to the outside, get some confusion there on the field, but that just Hornet defense doing a good job of there, getting them not to convert.
Well, and yeah, I can't say in all my years I've seen a play like that in football, but back, as I was saying before, that interesting two-point conversion play, they had a lot of adversity on the offensive side, this Goddard team did, and they pushed right through it. They continued pounding, and they did have a couple solid plays like that fourth down conversion, that pass over the middle, and those sparked this scoring drive, but that was a solid drive by Goddard, and this offensive team for the Hornets is going to have to answer now. So here to kick off here is Makai Collins, and then returning for the Hornets is Nolan Bevan. Looks like it might be a squib kick or maybe an onside, not sure. High in the air, caught by Kaufman, and he's brought down immediately. And that is a tough way to catch a kickoff. High in the air like that, you don't know where defenders are. You can get smacked at any time, and so that's a risky catch for Kaufman to catch, but he got it nonetheless. So they'll be set up at the 43-yard line.
And that's just a scary scary catch there. You don't know where the defenders are, like you were saying, and it's just scary to catch that ball because you don't know when you're going to get hit.
When Kaufman seems rattled there, Dominic Phillips, the backup running back, will take the field. Tight end to the right, receiver to either side, I formation. Harden drops back, a quick hitch route to Sharp. And he's brought down about a gain of 9 there.
That is the exact type of play they need. Just a little pass, little hitch route, like you were just saying, and getting out of bounds. And now we have a 2nd and 1, and that's just what Valley needs, is a good play to start out the drive, gain some momentum so they can run down the field and score to match this Goddard offense.
Well, and I mean, you're getting Harden's arm warmed up so he can hopefully air out the ball later in the game, as the run game didn't work last time. I formation, handoff goes to Warner. He has some momentum and runs over 2 players. He's got enough for a first down and more.
And Warner just taking that ball and lowering his shoulder and running. And that was just a great job of there, again, by the O-line of creating a hole for him. And Warner actually just took the outside and ran. He lowered his shoulder and ran. And he's big enough to do that. He's big enough to get that shoulder down and plow through defenders.
Well, and he has quite a bit of size to him. Good player to put at fullback. Only at 5'7", he's definitely got that lower leverage. False start there in the backfield. And I forgot to mention Kaufman back on the field, but miscommunication there. It will be a 5-yard penalty with 1:06 remaining in this first quarter.
Well, after that good run there, that's just not what you want. Just a penalty to scoot you back to a 1st and 15 from what would have been a 1st and 10. But that right there is just not what Valley wanted. But it's what they had, so let's see how they can get the job done with a 1st and 15.
Well, and this year has been all about responding to adversity. We'll see if that happens. And another false start. The Hornets were trying to get this Goddard defense to jump, and it seemed like everyone on the Goddard team did. Just unfortunately, a Hornets player did as well, and blame usually falls on the offensive side, or it always does when it comes to false starts. And
that right there is just really not what Valley wanted. From what a 1st and 15 would be, now is a 1st and 20. And so it's going to be a tough time trying to convert from a 1st and 20. We'll see how Valley can do it.
Well, now you have a 1st and 20. I want to see the Hornets air it out. I think they can get that game started, and I'm wondering if that's what will happen. Harden on the play action, pressured early, slips through a couple tackles, trying to throw it away, and right into the hands of Dalton Dunn, but fortunately enough, falls incomplete.
Great job there of Harden of escaping those tackles. He had 2 defenders back in the backfield trying to get him, and then came more, and that was just a good job of getting out to the outside and throwing that pass away.
Well, and Harden, I mean, I mention it all the time. He is an incredibly athletic guy, good at extending the plays. He showed that there, but unfortunately, too much pass rush for him to get a throw off. I formation here. Quick handoff to Warner. Plows his way through, and yet again showing why he is the fullback, being an absolute truck in the backfield.
And Warner there just lowering his shoulder and running, and that is exactly what Valley wants. From what a 1st and 20 was, is now going to be a somewhat manageable 3rd and 11. And I think with Warner in the backfield, I think that is what they're doing, is just trying to get those extra yards so a 3rd down is more manageable.
Well, and Warner, I mean, he knows he's not elusive enough to find a hole and slip through it. He's going to go through, he's going to truck, he's going to run right over you. And so we'll be back here it is the end of the first quarter. We'll be back here in just a minute.
One of a parent's biggest worries is letting their teen get behind the wheel of a vehicle. That's why getting professional, personal instruction is so important. The Wichita Driving School is licensed by the state of Kansas and offers the most classes per month of any driving school. With the most students trained in Wichita last year, it's obvious students and parents like Wichita Driving School for the convenience
and professional one-on-one instruction.
Wichita Driving School, where you're driven to be the best.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
And we're back here at Hornet Studios. Hardin drops back early and finds Gabe Phillips. It's there. Looks like it was complete, but we'll see if he had the toe drag. And the chains will move. It was complete.
That is exactly what Valley wants, a big third down conversion. After that, 1st and 20 is now converted to now a 1st and 10. And right there, just that toe tap to get out of bounds. That was just athleticism at its finest right there, just staying in bounds, get that catch, and getting that 1st down.
Well, and that is a perfect example of why Gabe Phillips is playing tight end. At 6'2", he made an incredibly athletic play. He fits the tight end position to perfection, and he showed it there on that reception. Under center, Hardin with a handoff to Warner. It's not there. Brought down by Logan Davidson and company.
And right there, that is just Goddard seeing what Valley's doing, because they saw that they had just handed it off to Warner, and he would just run and run and run. And he was getting some yards on those carries, and Goddard saw that perfectly there and just wrapped him up in the backfield and took him back a little bit.
Trenton Flores heading off the field, but I think that was more so a blitz. I mentioned early in my keys to the game, communicating, especially on the offensive line. The amount of twists and blitzes this Goddard front seven has is just insane. Seeing Logan Davidson in the backfield shows me that it was a blitz, and it was just a miscommunication. Hand off to Warner. Finds a gap and runs right through it. Gains about 5 or 6 there, and Warner looking to be a solid runner.
And Warner really just doing a good job of finding those holes and attacking, and he was going really quick off the ball and going and going and going and not stopping those feet, and that is just really what Valley wants, is Warner getting those yards to make a third manageable now.
Well, not stopping the feet, running low, that's just simply good mechanics football. Hand off to Kaufman. He's pressured early, and yet again in the backfield to bring him down.
Right there, Goddard read that play perfectly of blitzing, because they knew that Valley was going to be running that ball, and just a very good job there of getting to that ball quick and early and getting them for a loss of yards in the backfield.
It will be 4th down and 9. Trenton Flores replaces Hunter Sharp, so there will be no field goal attempt. And I like it. It's a high-risk, high-reward type play here. You have the opportunity to get a touchdown and tie this game up. Hardin with a play action. He'll roll out to the right, pressured early, fires to Hunter Stacy, falls incomplete, and that was a really good in route there. And drew receiver to the outside, a corner route from Gabe Phillips, drawing that safety out, and that middle was open there for Stacy, just incomplete on that throw.
And that right there, Hunter Stacy, he's hanging his head low on that one, just dropping that pass. But Valley just going to come out here and try and stop this Goddard offense from scoring. And although Valley did not convert on that 4th down, let's see what the defense can do on the opposite side of stopping Goddard as they got a touchdown on their last drive.
Well, they have a lot to prove here defensively. Simrad in the pistol. Twins to the left. Motion is Haskell, and I think he'll once again be flagged for a false start. Simrad not happy about that one. The 3-year starter believes that he is motioning Haskell. And according to the refs, he is not. There will be a 5-yard penalty.
And that right there really is just not what Goddard wants. There's been a lot of false start calls here, but I think Goddard is going to try and capitalize on this next play.
Out of the pistol again. Now it is illegal motion. Hand off to Reese. And a pulling guard helps lead the way. Gets him back to the chains for 2nd down and about 9.
It's a good job there of pushing for more yards, because he didn't have that much of a gap there, but he just ran right into the line and get some helps from his teammates to push him for a few yards, and now to get a 2nd and 10.
Twins to the left and a tight end as well. Simrad out of the pistol. He'll drop back this time, looking for a screen, falls incomplete, intended for Bo Bance, and Hornets looked like they knew what was coming that time.
The Hornets doing exactly what they wanted to do there, of pressuring Simrad for him to get the ball out of his hands quicker, and that's what they want, is for him to make snap decisions, because the moment he makes snap decisions, sometimes it's not going to work, and that is what Valley wants. And good job there of attacking at that QB to get him to make a snap decision.
Well, not only are they pressuring Simrad, but this secondary seems to know exactly what they're doing every time, and that's a very good sign for long term in this game. Simrad rolls out to the left, fires on an out route, good grab by Bance, and it looks like it will be called complete. Chains will move, first down Goddard.
Great catch there, and that was just also a diving catch, which is a very hard catch to complete, and that was just a great job of converting that third down, and Goddard here with a 1st and 10.
Bo Bance, a 5'8" receiver, running over the middle there, and so because of the rolling out action of Simrad, he had time to let Bance get over the middle, get past those linebackers, and then once he was on the outside, he could use his speed to get himself open. That's what happened on that play. Pistol formation. Toss to Bance, gets a lead blocker from Reese, shimmies his way through a couple defenders, and he'll get a gain of about 3 or 4 on that play.
And right there, just trying to confuse that Valley defense, and just a little toss there to Bance to him to get to the outside, because he is quick and agile, so they're trying to get him out so he can get some open field and so he can maybe get down to the field and score, and that is just what Goddard wants.
Pistol formation here, twins to the right. Fires over the middle, and it's caught by Shope. It's enough for a Goddard first down.
Right there, that was just a great catch, and there was also good defense on him, so that was another, right there, just a tough catch to make with good defense on you. You having that defender all over your back, and that's just a good job there of getting that ball and holding on to it to get that first down.
And so out of the pistol here once more. Twins to the left. Bo Bance with a fake toss. There goes Reese. Follows his offensive line well. Picks up a couple yards, about 4 there.
Right there, he's just making his lineman his lead blocker, holding on to his back so he can get those defenders and stop them so he can get some open field ahead of them. So right there, that was a good job of making that defender your lead blocker and getting out and now having a second and about 6.
Well, and there's nothing more than I love than a patient running back, and Reese showed it there on that play, just being slow enough to follow his offensive lineman and let him lead the way. Motion again, fake toss, firing deep to the right side for Shope, and it falls incomplete. Shope wanting a flag, Wilson on the defense, and referee waves away, no flag on that play. So we'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
I'm not very surprised there to see Semrad airing the ball downfield with his great arm and his very good athleticism. I think that I was not surprised at all to see him airing that ball downfield on that 2nd and 5.
Well, and right there, he knew exactly where he was going with that ball. That shows me his trust in Jake Shope. I expect to see that play a lot more during this game. Rolling out to the right, there's Simrad firing for a sit route, or excuse me, that was a hitch route, and Shope caught it. It will be complete. Chains move, 1st down Goddard.
Right there, that's just barely enough for that 1st down, but that is still a 1st down for Goddard, and just another case of getting onto that ball and holding onto that ball to get that 1st down. And these Goddard receivers just holding onto that ball so they can move these chains.
A motion again for Haskell. Hand off to Reese. Missed his hole, but still finds a way to shift through that defense enough for a Goddard 1st down, and they are moving and grooving.
Great run there. He's just really dodging past these defenders. He had a couple roadblocks, but he just jumped right through them. And right there, that's just good 10-yard carry there to move these chains once more.
Well, and momentum starting to pick up here for Goddard. They had a solid drive last time. Caden, how do you stop that?
Well, I think if you're Valley really just trying to attack on that ball, maybe blitz a lot more than they are now and just really trying to get to that running back quick.
Fake handoff over the middle, slant route to Shope. And it looks like he got possession of it. It is enough for a Goddard first down once again.
And Goddard here with some momentum. They really are. They're moving these chains now, and I think that they're not going to let off the gas, because the moment you let off the gas, the moment whenever you're not going to start converting.
Well, and this young secondary is being tested. They are athletic, but they haven't been put in situations like this where they have to cover the pass every single play. And this is something to watch out for. Simrad out of the pistol. Motion for Haskell. There goes Reese. Takes it to the outside. Cuts up early. And he'll find his way into the red zone. Make it down to about the 4-yard line. Yet again, another great carry by Reese. Last week, the Hornets told that he wasn't a threat, only having 44 rushing yards in his first game, his season opener. But it clearly shows that his athleticism is underrated. He is playing at an incredibly high level right now.
And Reese just getting to that outside and getting that first down so they can have a 1st and goal here.
So Simrad out of the pistol. Twins to the left. Motion for Haskell once again. Hand off to Reese. Trying to punch it in. And getting there was Weston Jennings and then Cameron Kaufman. 3 Hornets there to take him down. A loss on the play.
And right there, Valley just reading that play and getting to that ball. And we had 3 Valley defenders there just attacking. And right there, that's just a good job of stopping their momentum, because they have 3 previous first downs. They all resulted in a first down.
Twins to the right. Simrad out of the shotgun. He'll roll out to the right, looking to air it out. Plenty of time. There goes Shope. Touchdown, Goddard.
And right there, he's just really finding that pass and getting to that outside. And right there, it was just a great throw, great catch, and just good teamwork there. And now it just resulted in a touchdown.
And Goddard looking to hustle back to the line. And not sure if they'll try and knock in an extra point. And they will. It is through the uprights, 13-0 now your score. That kick was by Mekhi Collins, but a solid drive there by Goddard, and with 4:04, they have a dominating lead.
And right there, Goddard just learning their lesson from their last attempt. Their last attempt, they had a different play they went off of, and it did not work. So they're just trying to get those points. You know, their first touchdown, they were trying to sneak in 2, but now with their second touchdown, they just want to get as many points as they can. So they're just not going to go for that 2 there. They're just going to try and get in that extra point. So they'll make it a 13-0 lead.
Well, I want to talk about real quick the connection between Jake Shope and Kyler Simrad. To me, it seems like most of the time the targets are to Jake Shope, and for good reason. He is definitely the best receiver on this team, but I would be interested to see if the Hornets don't try to double cover him, double man him. And I know that's something you typically only see in higher levels of play, but as of right now, I think that's something that could work out if it were to hypothetically happen on the defensive side. So Mekhi Collins to kick off. Hunter Sharp to return. Boot is away. It's caught by Peach. A flag thrown, a smart play by Peach. He had 1 foot inbounds, 1 foot out of bounds, and so he caught it out of bounds technically. And so by rule, the Hornets will get the ball at the 40-yard line. That is incredible football smarts right there by Caleb Peach.
And like you said, that is just a smart play of getting 1 foot in and 1 foot out so you can get that penalty and gain some extra yards there to make it a 1st and 10 at about the 40-yard line.
Well, and a smart play, but that's the thing. You start in solid position to get a scoring drive started, but you have to operate on the offensive side. You have to find something. You have to find something on the offensive side, and you have to find consistency. Do what Goddard did and just slowly drive it down the field, march it down the field, and get a touchdown. Because before halftime, it'd be really nice to get a touchdown here. Harden will drop back out of the I formation. An arrow route to Hunter Stacy. He'll catch it and picks up about 4 after the catch. Bring up 2nd down and 6.
Right there, just a simple out route, getting that throw out to Stacy for him to get some extra yards as well and getting out of bounds. And now we have a 2nd and 2 here, which is manageable for the Hornets, and it's just what they need to get some momentum.
So after that play, I'm interested to see if the Hornets continue airing it out. Under center is Harden. Handoff to Warner. He stopped early, and a pack of Lions is there to stop him.
Right there, Goddard reading what Valley's doing and attacking, and just getting Warner in the backfield. And because they know that if Warner gets some open field, he's quick, and he'll lower his shoulder, and he'll plow through you. So they're just a great job there of attacking at that ball and getting them for a loss of yards.
So it will be 3rd down and 4, and not the start they envisioned on this drive. But as we've mentioned on every scoring drive for both teams this season, the Hornets and their opponents, there has been adversity, and you will have to play through it. We'll see how they respond. And it will be a flag on the play. Yet again, Goddard looking to time that snap count. It is false start. They were able to draw that false start.
And another false start there, and just not what Valley wants. You know, they had a 3rd and 5. Now it's going to be at about a 3rd and 9. So now they're going to try and have to convert from 9 yards rather than 5 yards.
Well, and last week, they didn't have many mental mistakes, but early in the season, you can expect to see a lot of those mental mistakes. Hopefully, they'll be ironed out by the end of the season. There goes Harden rolling out to the right, finds Gabe Phillips on a comeback route, and he's got the Hornet first down. That first down sponsored to you by All Saints Home Care.
And right there, that is just a great job of a good route run there, and a good job of Harden by rolling out of the pocket and seeing that run a lot better so you can get that pass out to the outside. Now, later in the game, they won't have to burn any timeouts, and so now they still have enough timeouts and a 1st and 10.
Well, and I think that fake sweep fooled everyone on the defensive side. Even if it was just one step, they step one step in the opposite direction. That allowed Gabe Phillips to get open on that play. A play action once again. Harden pressured early. He'll get it off to Warner. Warner dives to make the catch. He will catch it, but unfortunately a loss on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
And right there, I mean, that was just a tough play there for Valley. Harden getting to that outside, hoping to see a pass go back to the outside the way he was running as well, but just nothing there, so you just kind of had to dump it right off to Ben Warner, but then again for a loss of yards.
Well, and this Goddard defense adapts to changes really well. Identified that there are going to be a few more play actions on this drive, and they're pressuring Harden pretty well. Under center. Harden drops back looking for Phillips on the sideline. Nothing there. Trying to find that arrow route, and then there was a go route on the left side from Peach, but nothing there on that play.
And they really wanted that go route from Peach to draw off that defender, to run downfield with him so they can have an open shot out to the outside, but that just is not what happened. Goddard staying with the wide receiver, and so right there, that was just a smart play there by Goddard of sticking with that receiver and capitalizing on that play.
Well, and that was the thing there. Phillips was covered by an outside backer, and so he's not going to be drawn off by that go route, and it was just too close to the sideline to get a completion. Harden with another play action. He'll roll out to the right with good time. There goes Ben Warner making a snag, and he'll get some solid yards there, making it 4th down and short.
And a bobbled catch there by Warner, but he holds on to it, and that right there is now a very manageable 4th and 2. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Valley offense staying out there and getting this conversion so they can now get a touchdown.
And it will be a timeout, Valley Center, so we'll be back here in a minute.
Whenever we go to a local event here in Valley, we all want good food for reasonable prices with a friendly face behind it. Well, luckily, there's an option. The Food Guy. Located in his signature truck, keep an eye out for him at the next public event you make an appearance at. Or if you're hosting an event yourself and want a friendly catering option. Or if you have other questions, you can call him at 316-253-8832.
And we're back here, 4th down and 2 for your Valley Center Hornets. A snap. There goes Kaufman, finds a hole, and he has enough for a Hornet first down. That first down brought to you by 1-800-JUNK-PRO.
And the line there just creating that hole for Kaufman to run through, and that right there is just great of getting a hole, and so now a first down, and right there just Kaufman finding that hole and attacking and gaining that first down.
And so now you have a little bit of momentum on your side. You converted a 4th down. We'll see what happens. Harden drops back once again. Hitch route to Stacy. Finds the catch. And gains about 7 on that play.
And Harden's offense is really just doing these quick little hitch routes out to the outside. And that's the second hitch route that has been to Stacy. And he just getting that ball and getting out of bounds. And just a great job there by the Hornets.
They're hurrying to the line. Twins to the left. Harden under center once again. Pump fakes. He'll roll out to the right. Fires it over to Stacy's area. He has it. It looks like a catch awaiting a call. And it will be caught. First down, Valley Center. That first down brought to you by Sod Shop. And everything is going right for the Hornets on this drive. Hurrying back to the line, they'll spike it with 47 seconds remaining.
And right there, Valley just converting, and Harden had 2 defenders rolling after him, so he had to make a quick decision there. And he fires it downfield to Hunter Stacy, and Hunter Stacy cutting back and getting to that ball. Great catch there, and that'll now set up for 1st and goal for Valley.
And that was a solid play there. A timeout by Goddard, but the Hornets, fortunately, that spiked ball there to stop the clock didn't matter because they're not losing a down. Goddard called the timeout before the play. But this has been a solid drive by the Hornets, and now they need to do what they failed to do last week. They're in the red zone here. They're 8 yards away from a touchdown. Punch it in, and everything will be 10 times easier on the offensive and defensive side going into halftime. And Caden, I mean, 1st down and 8, you still have quite a bit of time, 45 seconds, plenty of time to get maybe 4 or 5 plays off. So you have lots of time. Do you pass it here, or do you run it with 8 yards to go?
I'd say they're going to run it here. If I were them, I'd give it to Warner and try and punch a little bit, but I try to knock off some time off that clock, so they're giving Goddard as least time as they can.
Harden under center, Twins to the right. Hand off to Warner, exactly what they do. He's brought down in the backfield. It will be a loss, but I still do like the Tony Romo call there from you, Caden. So we'll be 2nd down from the 10-yard line. And it looks like that Goddard defense knew exactly what was coming.
And right there, they really knew what potential Warner has whenever he gets that ball, because he is very, very quick. And he just finds that hole, and he lowers his shoulder, and he goes. So I think that was a good job there by Goddard by seeing what was going to happen. And they attack on that ball.
Well, and that's something this Goddard defense is good at. They are good at play recognition. Every one of these guys is football savvy. And so, I mean, obviously you want to mix it up to a certain extent, but that is a good play call there by the Hornets coaching staff. Just good play recognition there by Goddard. They know what's coming. I expect the Hornets here after that failed running play to air it out. I mean, it's 2nd down, and you still have plenty of time, but you want to air it out. Maybe a short hitch route, a short slant route, get you in good position to punch it in with a run play on 3rd down.
You know, I would not be surprised if they handed it off to Warner again to try and get some yards to get a pretty manageable 3rd down. And so I would not be surprised to see if they hand it off to Warner here again on 2nd down.
Well, let's see if you pull a Tony Romo again. Twins to the left, I formation, Phillips to the right. 8 players in the box. Harden rolling out, pump faking. Fires to Stacy, and it is in. Touchdown, Valley Center. That touchdown brought to you by Valley Offset Printing.
That was a good fake there by Harden, and then rolling out to the outside and finding that open receiver so he can get 6.
And I love that there. You're exploiting the fact that there's a back, there's an in zone back, and Stacy there running the in route from the other side. So those safeties in close and just found that little gap in the zone. Harden led him to perfection. That was a solid throw, touchdown, and everything went right on that drive. Recreate that multiple times, and you can find yourself a winning team. Kick is tipped. Field goal is, or point after try, not there. So we'll be 13-6 with 39 seconds remaining. But don't let that blocked point after try fool you. That was an incredibly masterful drive there by both coaches. Harden getting the offense up to the line quick enough, trying to time manage well enough, and that was a really amazing drive. We'll see if they can recreate that in the second half. If they can keep that consistency, then that's how they will find success on the offensive side.
And you know, if Valley can get some momentum through halftime and into that third quarter and just marching just like they did on that last drive, I think you can find a good scoring team here.
Well, and I mean, right now the expectation is that you stop Goddard on the offensive side. And so if they do that, they have the momentum into the locker room, maybe even a turnover. I know you're not going to score off a turnover, but you get a turnover into the locker room after just getting a touchdown, everything is going right. You come out of the locker room firing on all cylinders. But right now your goal is just to stop Goddard from getting anywhere on this field, no yards to be gained. Sharp to kick off. Back deep to return, that is Reese Beeson. And had a pretty good return to start off this game. There's Sharp off to the left. Bance to return it. And Shope has it now after a couple handoffs. Gets in good position, stays in, but his foot steps out at about the 40-yard line. Tricky, shifty play there yet again by Goddard.
Just like you were saying, that was a very tricky play just to confuse this Valley team, and just a good job there of getting that handoff, having a successful handoff so they can get to the outside and gain some yards there, and getting it to Shope, their star wide receiver, is also a very smart move.
Well, and I mean, yes, I respect that play, but I'm wondering if this Goddard team will try and score, or if that was just having fun with football, because that ate 9 seconds off the clock on a return. So interesting to see what they'll go for here. With 30 seconds left, you might, with this deep attack, I would not be surprised to see them air it out. And they do line up in an air it out type formation. Looks like a cover for prevent from the Hornets. Simrad drops back, takes his time, fires to Shope. He's open. It's caught, tackled, and out of bounds by Cade Wilson. 23 seconds, 7 seconds expire on that play, and now this Goddard offense is in good scoring position.
And a great job there just getting out of bounds, and I'm not surprised to see that pass go to Shope because he is definitely the quarterback, Kyler Simrad's favorite wide receiver on the field.
So out of the shotgun, twins both sides for Simrad, 2 high safeties for the Hornets, and then corners playing at 6 yards inside leverage. Maybe a cover 2 man. .23 seconds will be set on the clock. Just some confusion between the refs. First down and 10 for Simrad. Simrad drops back, looking right. Out route there, and it's stopped. Throw was just off the mark. Simrad looking for a toe touch type catch, and it was not there. 3 seconds expire. It's second down and 10.
And another pass there going to their star wide receiver, Shope. And he is a great wide receiver, and I'm not surprised to see Simrad firing it to Shope, and because they want yards here. And especially with only 20 seconds left on the clock, they want to get a touchdown here before the half.
So it is second down and 10. But with how quick this Goddard offense moves, downs don't seem to matter. Simrad drops back. Looking left, over to the corner, an incredible grab by Soren Carr. Touchdown Goddard, but a flag on the play. And that was a go route. Carr was double covered by both the safety and his cornerback, and still an incredible catch in traffic, touchdown Goddard. But we are awaiting a call on the flag.
And right there, just a great catch there, and double coverage, and the pass was a little underthrown, which is fine because he just stopped just a little bit, jumped up there and got that catch and brought it down with his strong hands, and he again fell into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, and it's just incredible how much quarterbacks love receivers who can catch in traffic like that. That wasn't a pinpoint accuracy throw, but he still managed to make the catch and still have a solid play. Will be ruled a touchdown. Not sure on the call there. I believe it was unsportsmanlike conduct after, but it will be assessed on the point after try. So now it's 19-6. A little too far to pull a 2-point conversion attempt. And some more confusion, but it will result in a Hornet timeout with 12 seconds. And, I mean, that was a really incredible play by Soren Carr. And I really don't know what more to say about it, but I think that says the most about the Goddard offense. I mean, the fact they got it at the 40, and what was that? 27 seconds expired, and they drove 60 yards, got a touchdown, punched it in. That's just amazing to see. And as much as it hurts the Hornets, it shows the talent and potential this Goddard team has.
And, you know, that drive right there really just showed the pass-heavy offense that Goddard is, because they did not run the ball once on that drive. It was all pass plays. And that just shows the athleticism from the receivers and the quarterback right there.
Well, and I love the fact the Hornets, most of the time going zone, Simrad, an experienced quarterback enough, he knows how to exploit zone. Shope as well. He did a couple plays, did an incredible job of exploiting that zone. That's why they were able to get those big plays and still have room to work with after the catch. And the point after try is up. It is through. 12 seconds remaining in the half. 20-6 is your score. And, I mean, I really don't know what more to say about it. An amazing drive there by Goddard. And with 12 seconds left, the Hornets probably kneel it out of the half and go into the locker room. They do have some more stuff to talk about now, but I mean,
and really right there, that just shows how pass-heavy the Goddard offense is. And with a great QB and great wide receivers, that right there is just a key to success. And with only they did not have that much time on the clock, so right there, it's just a great job of converting, and then a touchdown. Great drive there by Goddard.
Well, the fact that they had 12 seconds left, that just amazes me. The fact they did it in such short time. Makai Collins back to kick off. And two returners back deep, Sharp and Wilson. Have to wonder if they'll try the handoff that Goddard did. Back it goes to Sharp. Has to turn around and run. Gets to the 15. And finds tacklers at about the 17, so 5 seconds left. Offense heads onto the field. 20-6 your score. And make sure to tune in during halftime for the halftime show. Me and Caden will review what happened in the first half, what can be fixed by either side, and how each team will succeed in the second half. So make sure to tune in for that. And it will be quarterback Neal. And Harden kneels it, so that will end off the first half. 20-6 is your score. Make sure to tune in for the halftime show. I'm Caleb Rose, joined alongside by Caden Bastian, and we will see you back here in about 10 minutes.
One of a parent's biggest worries is letting their teen get behind the wheel of a vehicle. That's why getting professional, personal instruction is so important. The Wichita Driving School is licensed by the state of Kansas and offers the most classes per month of any driving school. With the most students trained in Wichita last year, it's obvious students and parents like Wichita Driving School for the convenience
and professional one-on-one instruction.
Wichita Driving School, where you're driven to be the best.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
Whenever we go to a local event here in Valley, we all want good food for reasonable prices with a friendly face behind it. Well, luckily, there's an option, the food guy. Located in his signature truck, keep an eye out for him at the next public event you make an appearance at. Or if you're hosting an event yourself and want a friendly catering option. Or if you have other questions, you can call him at 316-253-8832.
One of a parent's biggest worries is letting their teen get behind the wheel of a vehicle. That's why getting professional, personal instruction is so important. The Wichita Driving School is licensed by the state of Kansas and offers the most classes per month of any driving school. With the most students trained in Wichita last year, it's obvious students and parents like Wichita Driving School for the convenience
and professional one-on-one instruction.
Wichita Driving School, where you're driven to be the best.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
halftime report or something like that. Hi, I'm Caden Bashan. Welcome to the halftime report. We have 7 minutes till kickoff, so I'll recap the first half for you guys. Well, we started out, both teams they were not successful on the first drive. Goddard did receive, so Valley will be receiving the kick on the second half. But on Goddard's second drive, they did manage to get a touchdown, but failed to convert on the 2-point conversion. Valley then struggled a little bit offensively, but then started to get into the groove of it, but were not successful. But then whenever Goddard got the ball back, they did score again, making it 13-0. But then Valley marched down the field on a very good drive and scored, making the score 6-0, 13-6 at that point. Then Goddard, with only about 30 or so seconds left, marched down the field and got a touchdown, relying very heavy on their passing game in that last final drive. And you can really see Goddard was airing it out a lot, and they were trying to get it to the outside and really just getting the ball to those receivers, because Goddard is a very pass-heavy offense, and Goddard just did a great job of getting that ball to those receivers and getting out of bounds. They did not have to burn any timeouts. So with Goddard scoring, the score is now 20-6, and Valley got the ball back, but did not try and march down the field at all. They just took a knee. Now that rolled into halftime, and Valley will receive on the kickoff back here in about 6 minutes. I'm Caden Bashan, and that was the halftime report.
And we're back here at Hornet Studios. And first half, the Hornets saw some success, got a touchdown, but they did struggle a little bit on that defensive side. And we all know the incredible last-second drive there by Goddard. But other than that, I mean, besides that drive, they were able to march the ball down the field consistently, eat up time, and, I mean, they played well offensively. And for being such a deep play-oriented team, a pass-heavy team, I would have expected most of their drives to be 2-3 minutes at max, but they were able to take their time, eat up the clock. I love the performance from running back Dylan Reese. He played much better than I expected, and so something to watch out for in that second half. But Caden, what did you see in the first half?
Well, Goddard is a very pass-heavy offense, and I think they did a good job of creating some diversity in their offense and running it, like you said, with Dylan Reese, who is a very, very talented. He's very quick off that ball. And I think it's very smart by Goddard to keep handing it to him because he's having a great game so far. He's getting that ball, and he's quick and agile, and he's cutting back to the outside, and he's taking down that field. And Goddard, again, very pass-heavy offense. They have some star receivers out there. For example, Jake Shope. He's very, very good. Probably, I'd say the quarterback, Kyle Simrad's favorite receiver down there on the field. He's very talented, and Goddard, that last drive they had, just airing it downfield, and they did not run it once because they know that they need to march down that field and get a touchdown. That's exactly what they did.
Well, and that last drive was by Soren Carr, but the setup pass was by Jake Shope. I know I talked to you about it at halftime, Caden. Just on that right side, he ran a go route. Cover 2 was the defense, and he was able to find the gap in between the corner and the safety. Exploited that zone to perfection. That is a level of play that we rarely ever see from high school sports, and he did an incredible job of it, enough to set his team up for a touchdown.
And right there, really, he was just picking apart that defense. He saw the gap, and he took it. And it's a good thing that Simrad also saw that gap because that was a perfect red play there. He saw there was a gap right there in the defense. He thought, you know what, I'm going to take it right up there. And looking back at the QB and hoping that QB can see it as well. And he did, and he fired it down the field and completed that pass. Well,
not only that, did he see the route, but I think one thing right here, it seems as though Simrad drops back. Eyes immediately go to Jake Shope. So that's something to watch out for. I mean, the Hornets had 15 minutes to adjust in the locker room. So I would not be surprised to see a true double on the defensive side of the ball. You have 2 guys on Jake Shope. That would make the most logical sense. I mean, obviously, you might have to go man-to-man with the rest of your receivers, but the goal right now, stop Jake Shope and Kyler Simrad. That's the number 1 goal right now, and that's what the Hornets need to fix in the second half.
You know, the Hornets right now are really just with a 14-point deficit, trying to cut that back and to get it to a tie ball game. And I think really if they come out here and gain some momentum and their team chemistry just keeps going up, I think if they start working well as a team and playing well as a team, I think they'll get some points on this board and maybe tie up this ball game.
Well, and we saw it last week. They struggled a little bit in the first half of last week's game, down 14-3 before halftime, but they were able to mount a comeback. They were only 8 points from winning or from tying that game, and they have a lot more perseverance and a lot more heart than a lot of other teams have. And so I'm interested to see if that will come into effect here now that they're a much mentally tougher team after last week and after this year, or after 1 year of play under Coach Scott LaCure. So I'm interested to see how that will go. They are down here. They are facing adversity. That is a given. That is, they need to accept that right now. But the fact right now is you shouldn't flop from that adversity. You need to attack it head on and get something done.
You know, I think this defense is going to be coming out here with the grit in their teeth. You know, they're ready to get back out on the field, and they're ready to go attack because they went in that locker room, got a little pep talk, and now they're ready to come out here and stop this Goddard offense.
And to kick off here for Goddard, Makai Collins. Back deep to return is Hunter Sharp. About to get this second half underway. This return team expecting the kick to the right. It is. So Peach to return it. Shuffles, and then he'll hit a gap hard. He has some room to work with. He's brought down at the 36-yard line, but a solid return to get this second half started off.
And Peach just finding that hole and attacking, and he is quick. So once he found that hole, he attacked right on it, and then he started right at that hole, and then he cut it back toward the outside to maybe get downfield and maybe even score a touchdown. But that defender getting him, because there was only 2 more in the backfield he had to get past. And right there, Goddard just getting to Peach and getting him down so he wouldn't get more yards.
So Harden in the I formation. Twins to the right. He'll drop back looking to the right. Hitch route to Stacy. Grabs it. Off to the races he goes down the sideline. Gets a first down and more. Gets to about the 42-yard line on the opposite side of the field.
And right there, exactly what Valley wanted and needed. Some momentum on this football field. And, you know, getting that pass to Stacy. And I mind you, Stacy is who caught that touchdown pass in the first half. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see more passes go to Stacy in this second half.
Well, and we've seen limited use of Gabe Phillips, so keep that in mind. He is a threat, too. He is being double covered right now, 2 guys over the top of him. And off to Ben Warner. He is wrapped up immediately.
And in the first half, Warner was kind of a threat to this Goddard defense because once Warner got that ball and found that hole, he's very quick off that ball. So once he found that hole, he punched right through it and lowered his shoulder. Because, I mean, with his size and his speed, whenever he gets moving and whenever he lowers his shoulder, he can hit you. And chances are you won't be taking him down. He'll be taking you down. And so Warner getting wrapped up there in the backfield.
I want to point out something there, Caden. Now would be a perfect time for a counterplay. Fake the handoff to Warner, get it to Kaufman, who has a little bit more speed, and so he can attack the other side free of defenders. Flag on the play. And it looks to be encroachment. And that is the call. So Hornets, yet again, trying to keep this Goddard defense from timing the snap count, something they are very well known for doing. So taking advantage of that there, it'll be 2nd down and 7.
The Hornets right there really just taking advantage of that Goddard defense, getting them to jump, and then causing that penalty.
Harden under center, I formation. He'll drop back, looking right. There goes Stacy on the corner, and he dropped the ball. Quick little arrow route, just trying to find that edge and slip off enough for a first down, but pass falls incomplete there.
And right there, just a pass to Stacy on the outside, and it is bobbled, but I bet Stacy's going to be coming out next and thinking, that's not what I'm going to do this time, because the moment he drops the ball, he's going to hang his head about it for a minute, but then he's going to come out on that next play thinking, no, that's not what it's going to be like anymore. I'm going to come out here and complete that pass.
Well, and that's what I love about this Hornets team being much more mentally tough. They can take failure and they can turn it into something great. I'm interested to see if that'll happen this time. I formation handoff to Kaufman. Nothing there. He's taken down just a couple yards shy of the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th down, and I mean, you have solid field position here. Do you go for it here, Caden?
You know, right here, I'd say keep the offense out there. You know, they want to build up some momentum here, and it's not like Goddard is going to be getting incredible field position if the Valley does not convert here. But I think I would keep the offense out there to try and convert, to build some momentum, to go down there to the end zone and score a touchdown.
Well, and I think you clearly agree with Coach Scott LeCure. They will keep the offense on the field. Double tight formation in the eye. Harden, play action. He'll drop back, looking left. Looking for Stacy on the post route, passes behind, and it falls incomplete. Turnover on downs, 9:32 remaining in this 3rd quarter.
And right there, it was just behind Stacy. All that pass was just behind Stacy, and he just misses the catch, which is, you know, you see that a lot. If a pass is behind him, they have to kind of turn back and try and lunge for that ball as they're running the opposite way. It's tough to catch those passes. So I'm not very surprised that Hunter Stacy was not able to get that pass.
So 9:32, out comes Kyler Simrad, the prolific quarterback from Goddard. Twins to the right. Pistol formation again. Some shifting on the defensive line for the Hornets, trying to confuse this young and struggling to communicate offensive line. Out goes Bo Bance, cuts up early after he dodges a defender, and he will be brought down. 2nd down and 9. And I do want to mention, interesting tidbit about that play and plays that have been run similar to it. Because it is a toss forward to Bo Bantz, it technically counts as a completed pass, and those are reception yards because it was technically, by rule, a forward pass. That's what it'll go down in the statistics book as. So out of the pistol formation again. Twins to the left, one receiver to the right. One high safety for the Hornets. Fake handoff. Simrad looking downfield, off the mark, intended for Jake Shope. Two defenders by the Hornets there, but the pass just not to Shope.
And the Hornet D-line there just surrounding Shope and keep closing and closing in to try and make Shope to make a quick decision. And the moment he makes a quick decision, sometimes it just will not work, and that is what the Hornets want there. Just causing Simrad there to make the quick decisions, so maybe he will throw it off the mark.
Well, and that's one thing that nobody ever takes into account is how much a pass rush affects a secondary, and it's clearly shown here. Simrad rolling out to the left. He's going to take off with his own legs. He's brought down by Kaufman. He stopped early before the first down. It'll bring up fourth down.
And you can really see Simrad back there in the backfield. He's ordering the receivers around because he knows I'm going to take this for myself, so I want the receivers to block for me so I can get some yards here. But that just was not good enough for the Goddard offense.
I like the confidence in his step, in his running ability. Tries the hard count, nothing there. Formation shifts. Double tights, or tight receiver, and then twins to the right. Simrad, quick kick there. And it's got spin on it. And that is a beautiful punt there. Rolling to about the 6-yard line, so your Hornets backed up to their own end zone. An incredible punt there from Kyler Simrad.
And I like the play there, just a quick kick, and he's also a very, very talented punter. And so now Valley has some difficult field position at their own 6-yard line, and that is a great call there by Goddard, just getting Valley pushed back toward their own end zone.
So 7:56 in this third quarter, and your Hornets take the field. They will have to drive the length of the field, but I think you can eat up most of the third quarter, get a touchdown, then you have the whole fourth quarter open to trying to finish this comeback. Harden under center I formation. Hand off to Kaufman. He'll bounce it outside. He's being pursued heavily by Goddard. Jumps the edge just enough. Doesn't appear enough for a first down, but got a solid gain there. And he'll make it 2nd down and 3.
And right there, I like how Kaufman's thinking. He couldn't find a hole, so he cuts it toward the outside to try and get some yards. So it's a 2nd and manageable now. And Kaufman just couldn't find anything, so he says, you know what, I'm just going to cut it toward the outside and maybe try and push for the first down. It wasn't quite enough for it, but now it's 2nd and 3.
So Harden under center again, twins to the right. Sweep over to Kaufman. He'll try to take it outside once again. Play's just not quite the same. It'll bring up 3rd down. And looks like he made it just a yard.
And right there, Goddard knew exactly what was happening. They saw that Kaufman was going to the outside, so all their secondary, all their linebackers all pushed right toward the outside to try and trap him back in the backfield. But looks like Kaufman did gain maybe a yard on that run, and now it will bring up about a 3rd and 2.
7-10 and ticking. 3rd down, big situation here for the Hornets. A fake handoff there, finds Sharp on the out route. It's complete. 4 more, takes off. And not only did they convert that, it was enough to move the chains, but move the chains quite a distance. Now your Hornets have solid field position, looking to get down the field and score a touchdown.
And Sharp staying on his feet after that hit. And he did a little spin right there, and that was just a good job of staying up and getting some yards after that hit. And so Valley out here now having a first down, maybe they can get some momentum here, marching down that field to score.
And a flag on the play. Coach LeCure does not look happy about that one. That'll march the ball back. Leave right back to where it was, but it is enough for a Hornet first down. So field position not quite the same, but they were able to convert it. It is unsportsmanlike conduct. 15 yards on that play, and as I've said a couple times, I mean, it's early in the season. You can't expect everyone to be perfectly disciplined, but hopefully those mistakes will be ironed out by week 3 or 4. Twins to the right, I formation. Phillips off to the left, single tight end. Hand off to Kaufman. He'll try to slide, breaks a tackle, still brought down in the backfield. And that is a devastating run there for the Hornets offense.
And Kaufman breaking that tackle and trying to get to the outside to maybe get some yards on that run. But Goddard coming back there and getting him in the backfield. They read that play perfectly, and that's resulted in a loss of yards.
And I think that was all due to the outside blitzing of number 82, Kent Chesney. And he did a solid job getting off the edge, and even though he wasn't the one who eventually made the tackle, he was the one that created the panic in Kaufman, forcing him back to the other side where more of his teammates were. I do apologize, that was number 80, Christian Palmer. Harden drops back, rolling out to the right, firing comeback route for Stacy, off the mark, incomplete.
And right there, he was in pursuit by a couple of Goddard Lions, and so he had to throw it to the outside. And also, while running, trying to make a pass, sometimes it just is not on the mark. It is tough to complete passes while throwing. And so right there, you could see it was just off the mark. And now a third down here for Valley Center.
Well, in that comeback route, I mean, this is perfect for this secondary. To play against the secondary, they play completely man defense. They have inside leverage. They play about 6 to 8 yards off the receiver every single time. That is a perfect route to run against these defensive backs. Harden under centering the I formation. Fake handoff. He's pressured early, and he'll be brought down. And I believe it's at the 1 yard line, but we're still awaiting a call. Harden walking off the field. The punt team, led by Cade Wilson, will jog off the field.
And Goddard here just really being aggressive and trying to get Harden in the backfield like we just saw in that previous play. Really, Goddard is just not letting off that gas. They are blitzing and blitzing and blitzing to try and get Valley pushed back as far as possible.
And so it is 4th down and long. Wilson from the back of his own end zone. High snap. He'll sail the punt. It's fair caught by Shope, the 34. And the Hornets just not finding what they envisioned for this second half. But, I mean, we have 5 minutes in the third quarter. Not all hope is dead. They still have a lot of time to work with. And, I mean, this is a tough defensive drive. I will give both teams that. I mean, you have to stand tall here. You have to stand strong. But if you can manage to do that, you create some life for your offense and for your sideline to spark a comeback, find something.
And I think Goddard here really, with great field position at Valley's 35-yard line, I think they're going to come out here, run the ball quite a bit to drain some of this time on the clock. And like I said, with great field position, I bet they'll run the ball quite a bit. And so they'll drain the clock, and then maybe get up there and score a touchdown.
Play action. Simrad rolling out to the right because he's pressured. Corner route for Shope. And it's not there. Falls incomplete yet again. Shope wants a passing interference. But I had that thought in my mind before the play. I mean, you air it out. You get a touchdown, and you go up by an even larger margin than you're already up by. And Goddard is sitting in good position if they are able to score here. And I mean, you want to eat as much time off the clock, but even then, you still have the whole entire length of the fourth quarter to deal with if you do eat off a lot of time. So Simrad in the pistol, twins to the right. One high safety is Sharp. Simrad drops back. He's pressured early. It's a screenplay to Bance, and it falls incomplete.
And the Valley D-line there just tore apart that Goddard O-line, got right through them, and went straight for the quarterback. And that just caused Simrad to make a quick snap decision. And just that pass there was just dropped by Bo Bance.
Well, I want to correct you there, Caden. That was not the Valley defensive line. It was an intended screenplay. The offensive linemen were pulling out to the left, but I mean, solid play there. Fortunately, it was dropped by Bance, but Simrad out of the pistol. There goes Reese, shifting his way through a couple defenders. Gains quite a bit on third down. And it's fourth down and manageable here for Goddard. Do you go for it, try and punch it in? I mean, just get the first down and then long-term try and punch it in for the touchdown, or do you try and kick the field goal, take your points while you have them?
I'd say keep the offense out there with as great as field position as they have now, and I think you should keep the offense out there and try and get a touchdown, go up by an even larger margin.
Out of the pistol, there's Simrad rolling out to the right. Sit route for Bo Bance, tries to get more on that play, but he has enough for the first down. Another first down for Goddard.
And right there, Goddard just moving those chains, and that was their sole purpose right there, just to get those chains moved so they can have another 1st and 10, and that is exactly what Goddard wants and what they need right now.
Motion again. Simrad with a handoff to Reese. Bounces his way through a couple defenders. Good job using his lead blocking. Able to first down. Or will he? Appears to be just shy of a first down.
And right there, that was great lead blocking, and Reese just following those blockers and getting those yards, and now it's 2nd and 1.
A flag on the play. False start on Goddard. And that'll push him back to 2nd and 6. It will be 5-yard penalty. And so, I mean, you can expect that maybe to cut a little away from this Goddard momentum, but something needs to happen here from the defense. A big play needs to happen, maybe a tone-setting hit, but for this Valley defense, something has to happen. It has to happen quick. Simrad drops back, looking over the middle. Seam route for Tyler Haskell, and it's not there.
And right there, that was just a simple overthrow. And, you know, with that play there, it's tough to complete those passes, especially with that big tight end going right through the middle and all those defenders right around him. It's tough to complete those passes. So I'm not surprised that he didn't complete that pass. But I'm excited to see what the Goddard offense will do on this next play to try and get this first down, maybe even a touchdown.
Oh, and it's 3rd down. I'd be surprised if they don't try and at least convert it. Simrad rolling out, fires the ball, and it's almost intercepted by Cade Wilson, but it falls incomplete. Fortunately enough, brings up 4th down.
And right there, Simrad just trying to get the ball out of his hands so he won't take a sack. And that just caused Cade Wilson to come in and maybe get that pick. And it almost was picked off, but it wasn't quite enough.
So it will be 4th down. I believe we'll see the field goal team, but considering that first 2-point attempt, you never know. So on to kick is, that is Makai Collins. This Hornets crowd getting pretty loud for being limited. Kick is up, and it is 23-6 your score. And the Hornets, I mean, obviously it's nice to not give up a touchdown, but I mean, you have the field goal, and so you're still in solid position trying to make a comeback here, but offensively, now you have a kickoff. You have a fresh start. You're not starting from the back of your end zone. You have something to look forward to, something to work towards, and so I think this can be a solid drive, but you have to attack it with aggression. You have to attack it with positivity because the last drive failed, but now you have to come out expecting, knowing that you can get more.
And I think Valley here just learning from their mistakes, you know. sometimes they'll get a pass off the mark, but then they'll come back after that play and complete that pass, and that's just good there by bouncing back after that deficit and coming back and connecting, and that is just teamwork at its finest right there, of not letting yourself get down, and the moment you get down, it won't pan out well for the rest of the game.
So Makai Collins, who just split the uprights, will be on to kick off. Sharp back deep to return. Popped up in the air, flag on the play. It is a kickoff out of bounds. And it goes into the kicking net, surprisingly. Looked like Collins knew where he was aiming there, but it will be first down and 10 from the 40-yard line.
And right there, Valley now with better field position than they would have had if that kick was in bounds. And now Valley with the first and 10 at the 40-yard line. I'm excited to see what they can do on this drive to march down the field and maybe get a touchdown. Caleb Harden's offense is going to come out onto the field here and try and get some yards and gain some momentum to try and cut this Goddard lead back and back and back and maybe get enough to tie this game.
Well, I was just thinking about this here, and maybe not, maybe this isn't the reason, but I think that was a strategical kickoff out of bounds. Now the Hornets have first down and 10, yes, from good field position. Excuse me, it's at the 35. But, I mean, they have no momentum. Had they got a good return there would have been no momentum. And so, or there would have been a lot of momentum. So they start with no momentum. Kaufman hands off there.
And right there, Kaufman didn't have much of a hole, but just lowered his shoulder and ran. And that right there, giving him some good yardage there. And so now it's going to be a gain of 5. And now we're going to have a 2nd and 5 out here. There's a good job there by Kaufman, just lowering his shoulder and running.
So 2nd down and 5. Do you expect them to continue running it, or do you think they'll air it out a little bit more?
I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball more.
And there goes Kaufman doing exactly what you said. He's taking his time. Well, and that was a first down by Cameron Kaufman. That first down brought to you by Luminous Neon Art and Sign Systems. But like you said, I mean, you expect to keep them running, but I think the reason for that is they've struggled on the offensive side in the second half. They need to find some success, and here they are finding that success, build some confidence up, and then you can start airing it out later in the game. Harden under center, double fullback formation, hand off to Kaufman, and he's brought down by multiple Goddard defenders, slipped through a couple tackles, but just too many Lions there.
Right there was just a pack of Lions around him, but he still got a couple yards on that carry, and now it's just good of shaking off those tackles and chugging, keep moving for some more yardage. And right there, I think Valley's going to maybe come out here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep running the ball, because on the last drive, on the last first down back there, I mean, all they did was run it, and then they got a first down. I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep running that ball.
I formation. Harden drops back, looking for Sharp. A quick arrow route, gains about 4 yards on that play. It's complete. Well, and keep in mind, Caden, the option for a play action. With all the running that has been on this drive, a play action might work incredibly well.
And right there, just a great catch there by Sharp, holding on to that ball. And it was a diving catch, which is hard to complete. And Sharp holding on to that ball and make sure he doesn't drop it, because he knows that if he catches that ball, it'll give him better field position and a better chance of getting a first down.
Twins to the right, I formation, one receiver to the left. Hand off to Warner. He is yet again wrapped up. And so far in the second half, after Warner's spree of long runs and dominant runs looks like Goddard understood the threat that he is, and they're making sure to shut it down. It will be 4th down and 3, but the offense, good decision to keep it on the field with 35 seconds in the third quarter.
And like you said, Goddard really seeing what's going on there with Warner, and so now they're attacking at Warner, so he won't get those extra yards that he has. And with that timeout,
there's an injured player on the field, and we'll be back here at Hornet Studios in just a minute.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
Whenever we go to a local event here in Valley, we all want good food for reasonable prices with a friendly face behind it. Well, luckily, there's an option, the food guy. Located in a signature truck, keep an eye out for him at the next public event you make an appearance at. Or if you're hosting an event yourself and want a friendly catering option. Or if you have other questions, you can call him at 316-253-8832.
And we're back here. Helped off the field. Looked like an upper body injury was Ruben Ortiz, the nose guard for Goddard. 35 seconds here. And Hornets offense takes the field. Harden under center on a 4th down and 3. A crucial 4th down and 3. Play action. He's rushed early. He's brought down in the backfield. And Goddard converts defensively.
And Goddard just getting to that QB, and right there, it's just good solid defense there by Goddard of getting around that line and going straight for that QB to not get them to convert that 4th down.
Well, that sack was by Christian Palmer. He's playing outside linebacker right now, and he's done an amazing job of slipping that edge. And with it being a passing play, you don't get any help from running backs or tight ends, and so that sack was due to a blitz from Palmer. Handoff to Reese on the first play of the drive. He'll tippy-toe his way through for about 3 yards.
And right there, he really is just pushing through that line and trying to get a few yards so they can get a second about 7 here. It's better, for me, I think it's better to get 1 yard than it is none.
Well, and that will be the end of the third quarter. Your score 23-6. We'll see you back here at Hornet Studios in just a minute.
One of a parent's biggest worries is letting their teen get behind the wheel of a vehicle. That's why getting professional, personal instruction is so important. The Wichita Driving School is licensed by the state of Kansas and offers the most classes per month of any driving school. With the most students trained in Wichita last year, it's obvious students and parents like Wichita Driving School for the convenience
and professional one-on-one instruction.
Wichita Driving School, where you're driven to be the best.
Welcome.
And we're back here at Hornet Studios. 12-minute show for the start of the fourth quarter. Simrad out of the pistol. And off to the left. There goes Reese. Slipping his way through the offensive line for about 2 yards on 2nd down.
Right there, that was good work there by the line and creating a gap there for Reese to run through. And as you can see, that tackle on the outside was pushing that defender out so he can get as much room as he can to push through and get some yards on that play.
Well, and I like the way he attacked through the hole and then shuffled, and he tried to stay patient. And he's brought down while he was shuffling, but he's trying to stay patient, look for more open gaps. Simrad out of the shotgun. Looking left. Pass falls incomplete. An out route and a go route was the combo on the left there, and just too much on the sideline, falls incomplete. Well, and 2 plays have passed, Caden, and 40 seconds have passed. This Goddard offense is incredibly talented at wasting clock because they do it quite often. They are in the lead quite often, so that's something to watch out for defensively. Simrad, confusion on the snap, and he'll be brought down on 4th down.
And right there, Cameron Boyer did a great job of reading that play and getting right through that line. He had no troubles getting right through there and getting straight to Simrad. And so Cameron there just getting right through that line and getting him and stopping him on that 4th down.
And Boyer had 14 tackles last week, and he had a pretty solid performance for being young on this varsity field. He's playing really well and has a lot of unchecked talent. 11-14 in this 3rd quarter. Out comes your Hornet offense. And running worked last time, or it worked enough to get a 1st down, but I wonder if they'll have to air it out here. Ben Warner, the only back in the backfield, so possibly. Dropping back, looking for Stacy on the hitch route. And he'll shift his way up for a 1st down. Excuse me, maybe it will be. Not quite sure, waiting for the ball to be marked. And he'll be out of bounds 3 yards short, or 2 yards short of the 1st down. 2nd down and 2.
And right there, I like to play the little hitch route there right out to the outside to Hunter Stacy and trying to juke around some defenders to get to that 1st down. I do like the play there. I do like the play call on that 1st down.
So Twins out to the left. Have to wonder if they'll continue airing it out. Power I formation to the left. Handoff to Kaufman. Looked like a counter play. And he's brought down after a yard.
Right there, Cameron Kaufman just enough for that 1st down. And right there, that's what he wanted. He really just wanted to get to that 1st down and be there on that 2nd down. So now the Hornets can now get another 1st down and get some momentum.
And that 1st down brought to you by Nick's Barbershop. 10:48 and ticking. Well, now the Hornets have found a 1st down. And last time they found a 1st down, they started to air it out a little bit more, trying to go more pass game. You have to wonder if that'll happen here. Maybe a play action. And a jump there defensively. Or excuse me, it was a false start is the call. Sharp checks in for Sam Bass. 10:32 in the 4th. It'll be 1st down and 15 after the penalty.
And Valley out here right now just trying to get some momentum to try and get that 1st down. After that false start, it's not what they wanted. But now this 1st and 15, I'm excited to see what they can do to try and get that 1st down.
Twins to the left. Fake sweep. Harden has plenty of time to roll out. Finds an out route for Sharp. And it's complete. It's enough to get back to the chains, bring up 2nd down and 10.
And right there, I like the fake sweep because he faked out one of the defenders because that defender got right through that line and he faked it out to the halfback. And that did fake out the defender, so he was able to roll out left and pass it out to Hunter Sharp, and for now, that's 2nd and 9.
Well, and that allowed him to get open on the rollout. I formation, another play action. He's pressured early. Harden rolling out to the right. Fires, ball up high, intended for Sharp, and it's not there. Falls incomplete.
A risky pass there by Caleb Harden, trying to get it over the defender toward Hunter Sharp. And right there, I mean, it's not what Caleb wanted, but now a 3rd and 9 here. I'm excited to see what Caleb can do to try and get that 1st down. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them air it out again toward downfield.
Well, and I think what happened on that play, Harden was pressured early, and he found Sharp. He understood that Sharp was open, but had to take the time to get in position to throw because he was on the rollout. And so because of that, Sharp wasn't open when he was able to throw it. The play clock running low. It is a timeout by the Hornets. And 9:48 remaining in this 4th quarter. We'll see you back here at Hornet Studios in just a minute.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
Whenever we go to a local event here in Valley, we all want good food for reasonable prices with a friendly face behind it. Well, luckily, there's an option. the food guy. Located in his signature truck, keep an eye out for him at the next public event you make an appearance at.
And we're back here, 9:48 in the fourth. Your Hornets driving with a 3rd and 9. Harden faking the play action. Over looking for Stacy. The ball a little low and almost picked off by outside linebacker Christian Palmer, but it falls incomplete. 4th and 9, and in my opinion, you have to go for it here. And it seems a pretty obvious option. You have to air it out, but do you go deep or do you run a screenplay? What do you do here, Caden?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run a screenplay because as we can see, these long passes that they're airing out downfield just are not connecting. So I would not be surprised to see them run a screenplay here to try and get that first down, to move those chains and gain some momentum, try and get down the field and score.
I formation here. Harden under center and a jump there from the right tackle. False start on 4th and 9. And now you're faced with a dilemma here, Caden. I mean, I feel like you still have to go for it. It's now 4th and 14 after that false start, but that's a tough call. And I mean, it obviously is the correct call, but that's a tough penalty to take.
And right now, I don't know if a screenplay may not be the option now with that penalty. Maybe they now have to air it downfield, and it'll be interesting to see what Coach Scott LaCure comes up with here, and maybe he does air it downfield, maybe he does a screenplay, but I think they should air it out downfield because now with this 4th down, they don't have all that much little space to do a screenplay.
Fake sweep. Harden rolls out to the right, firing for Stacy. It's there. He's got the first down and more. And an incredible grab. A flag on the play, though. That first down brought to you by Chaos Apparel.
And right there, Harden rolling out to the outside, and that is just a perfect throw, perfect pass to Hunter Stacy. Gaining that first down right there, that is what Valley needs, that first down conversion to move those chains and gain some momentum to maybe get down the field and score.
And it will be an unsportsmanlike conduct on Goddard, 15 yards at the end of that play. And the Hornets, they're looking up right now on the offensive side. There's some exciting stuff happening.
Right now, the Hornets are really focused on one thing, and that is scoring. If they score, they can cut this lead down a little bit, and then the defense needs to come out here and stop this Goddard offense, who right now is doing pretty well out there on the field.
I formation again, twins to the left. Sweep out to Kaufman. He's pressured early, stumbles, but gets back up. He has a gain of about 4 or 5, but a flag flies.
And right there, Kaufman, he stumbles, but he stays on his feet, and that right there is what you want from a running back, not giving up. And whenever he's stumbling, he gets back up and he keeps running.
Well, Kaufman holding his right shin, I believe. And we'll be back here at Hornet Studios in just a minute.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
Whenever we go to a local event here in Valley, we all want good food for reasonable prices with a friendly face behind it. Well, luckily, there's an option, the food guy. Located in his signature truck, keep an eye out for him at the next public event you make an appearance at. Or if you're hosting an event yourself and want a friendly catering option. Or if you have other questions, you can call him at 316-253-8832.
And we're back here at Hornet Studios, 9:30 remaining in the fourth. And Kaufman jogs off. Just looked a little rattled. He was holding his right shin, I believe is what it was. And he'll go over to the trainer's table. So Harden in the offense comes back out. 1st and 16. Excuse me, I believe it was a holding call, though we did not get an official call because of the injury. So clock back to running now. I formation again. Harden takes the snap. Fake sweep. Looking over his left. Corner route for Sharp. It's caught. Touchdown, Valley Center with 9:18, and your Hornets have just sparked a comeback.
And right there, the Hornets, great job of going to that corner out. And the Caleb Harden rolling out, seeing that Hunter Stacy is open on the outside, airing it downfield to him, and that right there, that completion resulted in 6.
And that right there was cover 2 defense. You see 2 high safeties, and that was just an absolute miscommunication by the defense. Corner thought the deep safety had it, and deep safety thought the corner had it. Left Sharp wide open for the touchdown. Point after try is up and through, so 23-13 your score. Hornets cut the deficit to 10.
And right now the defense needs to come out here and just get some stops. Now with momentum, I think now the defense come out here with vengeance, and they really want to stop this Goddard offense, because this Goddard offense they're marching. And this Valley defense now with momentum, I think they're going to come out here and try and get some stops. And I think one big thing they're going to do here is get some coverage on these receivers, because this Goddard offense has very talented receivers, and I think that Valley, that's what they're focused toward right now, is getting those receivers covered and getting them covered like a brick wall.
Well, and I mean, obviously they do want vengeance, and you do want to come out, you want to hit them in the mouth, but you have to do it strategically. We've seen this in the past with the Hornets. They have momentum. They have done a good job of carrying this momentum onto the defensive side, but with a Goddard team that is so pass heavy, as you and I have mentioned multiple times, I mean, you not only you use that aggression to your advantage, but you use it strategically. You don't abuse it and just let your pads fly around. You have to be smart with it. Hunter Sharp, quick onside kick, and looks like he might recover it. There is a pile on the field. And wow, an incredible play there. It is in favor of the Hornets. And that was a 2008 type Super Bowl recovery there. That is just amazing by Hunter Sharp.
And right there, Valley Center, exactly what they want right here. Now with the ball, they're now going to want to march down the field and maybe cut that deficit down to 3 and try and march down again and score. Valley Center now coming out with momentum, and their team chemistry is an all-time high right now. Let's see what they can do offensively.
I formation here after the scoring drive. Twins to the left. Harden drops back, looking left, finds the slant route to Sharp. And gains about 4 there. I'm still just in awe. That was a Morton Anderson type onside kick, and you love to see it. I mean, it sparks everything you need here for the Hornets.
And with that onside recovery there, that is exactly what the Hornets want. And I tell you what, that right there brings the Hornets smiles on their faces, and now they're ready to go out here and now get the job done offensively to maybe put 6 more up on the board.
So 2nd down and 6 after the slant route to the left. Harden, fake handoff, looking left, high post route for Sharp. It's caught, awaiting a call from the refs, but it looks like he brought it down. It is complete, and your Hornets get another 1st down. That 1st down brought to you by the food guy. And it was called complete by the field ref, but apparently the line judge ruled it incomplete. I do apologize. And it is 3rd down and 6. I mean, big play, falls incomplete, but you still have that momentum. You have to keep it on your side. 3rd down and 6 here. I formation from Harden. 1 high safety. Play action again. Harden rushed early and often. He's taken down in the backfield. And that brings up 4th and 13. What are you looking to do here, Caden?
Well, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. You have to keep that offense there on the field, but I think right here they're going to try and air 1 deep, because I don't think a screenplay, would be enough for a 1st down. So I would not be surprised to see Harden maybe fake a sweep out to the outside and cut back toward the opposite side of the field like they've been doing and air it out downfield.
Well, and I mean, it's 4th and 13, so yeah, I do agree. You have to air it out somehow, some way, but a good timeout there by the Hornets. They will talk it over. 7:54 remaining in this contest. And, I mean, it's been a pretty solid game, but you have to wonder, do you trust your defense in this situation? 7:54, I mean, that is quite a while, and you're only down by 10 points. I mean, I say that like it's not much. I mean, it is a solid margin that you have to come back from, but still, you have 8 minutes on the clock, and you have to wonder, do they punt it here and trust their defense to get them back out on the field offensively? And not to mention, this defense has had a solid rest after that scoring drive, and then the Hornets getting the ball back. I mean, there's a lot of options to consider here, Caden.
Well, I'd say they go for it on this down, because even if they do not convert here, the Goddard Lions still have the ball at about Valley Center's 48-yard line. So they're not looking with incredible field position here, but they still have well enough field position. But I think right there, they really just do have to trust that their defense will come out there and stop this Goddard offense.
Well, and it looks like that is what they'll do. Cade Wilson back deep to punt. Now, keep in mind, last week they did almost convert a 4th down fake punt. High snap there. Sending it away end over end. It only travels about 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. A roll to be touched down at the 43-yard line. So out comes this defense.
And right here, I mean, I would not be surprised to see the Hornets really blitzing right here to try and get that, to get the QB, Semrad, just kind of trying to get him to make some snap decisions out there on the field to try and get him to throw it away. Maybe if he's not super pass, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Hornets coming out here and firing toward the quarterback.
Well, and if you remember early in the game when they had a lot of defensive success, Semrad was on the run every single time. And so far, he has not been pressured so much in the second half. So keep that in mind. Bo Bance on the jet sweep, and he absolutely trucked a player at 5'8", plowed over a Hornet.
And Bo Bance really is having a great game here today. He is a fast runner, and I would not be surprised to see them giving the ball to him a lot to drain this clock. Like you said earlier, they are very good at draining the clock, and I would not be surprised to see them keep doing that on this drive.
Well, and as you said, blitzing is a way to stop draining the clock. Reese barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. And he's brought down, I believe that was Cameron Kaufman.
And right there, that's what Valley really wants right there, is to get some momentum here. Right there, a stop, no gain on the play, and now with a 3rd down, Valley really wants to come out here and stop Goddard here, because I believe if Valley stops him here, Goddard won't go for it, because they do not want to give Valley a ball at the 50-yard line. They want to give them as little field advantage as they can, so they'll want to punt it back toward Valley Center's end zone, so it'd have the worst field position possible for the next drive.
Well, but do keep in mind, Caden, we have seen 5 4th downs from Goddard, and they've only punted 1. So there's never really telling what this Goddard team will do. They continue to mix it up. 6:26 and a timeout. Goddard will be back here at Hornet Studios in just a minute. And we're back here at Hornet Studios, 6:26 remaining in the 4th quarter. And 3rd down and 4. And this is a tough situation for both teams. Defensively, you have to make a stop for the Hornets. And then for Goddard, if you manage to convert this, I mean, you're starting to try and shut down the possibility of a comeback from the Hornets. Either way, this is going to lead to, this will be an influential play. Hand off to Reese. Takes it off the left side. Has some room to work with. Gets to the 1st down and more. Continues plying his way through a 10-yard carry there. 1st down, Goddard.
And Goddard, that's what they want right there. Getting that 1st down to not give Valley the ball back. And so right there, great job of finding that hole and attacking. And then after getting through that hole, getting to the outside to try and gain some yards on there, then picking up the 1st down.
Well, and as you mentioned, this Hornets team wants to blitz, but again, you have to do it strategically, and I didn't see any blitzes on that play, but typically when you do blitz, you have to keep in mind the run game, and you have to stay checked. Fake handoff. Simrad looking left, fires over to the left side for Bo Bance on a go route. It's not there.
Smart play there by Goddard. Bo Bance before the play was motioned out toward the outside. So then after the play begun, he just cuts right down and starts running. And so he is very fast. So he was outrunning that defender. And so whenever Simrad threw the ball, it was just barely overthrown, just past the hands of Bo Bance.
Well, and not to mention, not only is Bo Bance quick, but he was also being covered by an outside linebacker. That's Cameron Kaufman. So Bance, a slot receiver, and that's an ideal matchup for Goddard. And it will be a false start. I believe it is the chopping of the feet that rules that a false start from Goddard's perspective. Haskell on the motion, you see there, he chops his feet, and so it is a false start. Brings up 2nd down and 15.
Well, now this is interesting for Valley because after that penalty, it's now 2nd down and 15. And so if Valley can get a good stop here, then maybe they can get this ball with better field position than they thought. And so let's see if the Valley defense can come out here and capitalize. And I think if they just start attacking on that ball, I think they can do so.
So Simrad out of the shotgun. He'll drop back looking right, fires for a go route. That's Shope. Wilson will attack the ball and knock it away, incomplete. And he was getting a little handsy there with Shope, but a solid, smart play by Cade Wilson. He understood when Shope's eyes got big, when he was looking for the ball. Wilson turned his head around, and instead of making a play on the receiver, he made a play on the ball to define it as not a passing interference. Batted that ball away, stopped any chance of a completion.
And like you said, they're very smart play, and that it was. And Cade Wilson really just swadding that ball away just so they will not complete the pass because he knows that these are some very good receivers out here, and so he just needs to get that ball out of play as soon as possible.
3rd down and 15. One high safety. Simrad with a play action. He's rushed early by Johnson. A screen play falls incomplete. Tight end screen intended for Haskell.
Now that brings up a 4th down. Now this is interesting for Valley because if you're Goddard here, do you want to punt it and maybe try and get them really tight in, or do you go for it here? I can't see them going for it here, but it looks like they're keeping the offense out on the field. Maybe a quick kick.
It looks like a quick kick type formation. That is what Simrad will do. End over end punt. And it'll roll into the back of the end zone, fortunately enough, for the Hornets. They'll start off at the 20-yard line. 5:30 remaining in this 4th, and I like the Hornets' odds. But they do have to come out here attacking. They have to fire off every snap. They have to attack, but not only attack with smartness. They have to stay calm at all times. And if they can manage to do this, I like their odds.
And like you were saying, Valley really needs to come out here attacking. They only have 5:30 left in this 4th quarter. They need to come out here firing because it is a 2-possession ball game. So they need to go down there, score, and then hope that their defense can come out here and stop this Goddard offense so that offense can come back out on the field and maybe score again.
Harden out of the shotgun. He'll drop back, looking right. Firing for Hunter Stacy. Passes behind and off the mark. Falls incomplete.
And right there, that pass was just behind Hunter Stacy. But I do like the play call, just starting off with a shot downfield. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them do it again. But they need to do it again. They need to get some better field. They need to get some better yardage.
Field position.
Field position, excuse me. And so that they can be set up for a 1st and 10 and then maybe march down that field and gain some momentum so they can get a touchdown.
So with 5:25 in the 4th. Harden drops back. He's pressured early, fires the ball over to the left, looking for Sam Bass. It's off the mark, but likely just a throwaway there. 5:19, and now it's 3rd down and 10. Do you continue to air it out, Caden, or do you try and hit the chains?
Well, I'd say they really just need to hit the chains. They need to just get that 1st down. And
well, we have an injured player on the field. We'll be back here at Hornet Studios in just a minute.
One of a parent's biggest worries is letting their teen get behind the wheel of a vehicle. That's why getting professional, personal instruction is so important. The Wichita Driving School is licensed by the state of Kansas and offers the most classes per month of any driving school. With the most students trained in Wichita last year, it's obvious students and parents like Wichita Driving School for the convenience
and professional one-on-one instruction.
Wichita Driving School, where you're driven to be the best.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
And we're back here at Hornet Studios. Braden Wycliffe, the injured player there, and walks off under his own power. But he looks like he will not return for the game. 5:19 here in the fourth quarter. Your Hornets offense lines up. Twins to the right. Hunter Sharp on his own to the left. I formation. And as you said before the break, just trying to hit the chains here, trying to get that first down to keep this drive alive. Harden taking off with his own power. Gets the first down and more. Cuts it up, and he'll run out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. And that was incredible. He was pressured early, and his rollout option was completely taken away, but takes under his own power, makes his own play.
And Harden really saw that gap there, and he thought, you know what, I could air it out downfield, or I can just take it myself. And there was a gap there in the defense. All on that left side was open. So he thought to himself, I'm going to take that chance, and he ran, and now with a lot better field position than they had, the Hornets are now here with a 1st and 10.
Well, and that's the thing. Pass rushing is one thing, but you have to make sure your quarterback, the opposing quarterback, can't scramble. Harden saw the gap, took off, and with that crazy athleticism, he made a huge play out of it. Play off the mark, looking for Stacy on the out route, but it falls incomplete.
And now with 5:06 left here, I wouldn't be surprised to see Valley Center air it out downfield again and maybe trying to just get that touchdown. With that last play, Harden scrambling out, they're now gaining some momentum here on the field. And I really would not be surprised to see him air it out downfield.
So Harden in the pistol, twins to the right. He'll drop back, rushed early, fires off to the right. It looks batted away, looks like a passing interference, but no call there. And 3rd down and 10 now after that incomplete pass. You still have 2 downs to work with, considering you go for it on 4th down. I mean, being late game and all, that's understood, but I mean, what do you do here? Do you go for the chains, or do you continue to try and air it out and then hope that you can, if you don't complete it, then, I mean, you have to go for it on 4th down and try and hit the chains?
You know, I would not be surprised to see them run it here. I would not be surprised to see them run the ball and get some better field position, because they know that they will go for it on 4th down if it comes to that. So I would not be surprised to see them run it here.
So we will see a timeout, Valley Center, and some time to talk it over. 5 minutes, 1 second. And, I mean, they have a lot of options here. As you suggested, a run. You know they're going for it on 4th down. Make it 4th down and manageable at least. And it is unexpected from Goddard's side. But, I mean, this Hornets team, thus far, they have made quite the comeback here. And they were down by a large margin. And here they are, only down by 10. But you punch it in here. You have solid field position. And you're en route to possibly getting a win here. I will knock on wood because I don't want to say anything too early, but if you are able to punch it in here, you are in good position to win this game.
And if they are able to punch it in here, you really are hoping that your defense can come out here and stop that Goddard offense from coming out here and scoring. That's going to be the biggie if they do end up scoring here, is if your defense can come out and capitalize.
So Hornets in the shotgun. Harden drops back, looking right. Quick in route from Stacy. Instead of running in a short little pass, looking to get at least close to the chains. And now to the shotgun here. I mean, it's tough to run it in a 4th and short situation from the shotgun, but maybe we'll see that. Harden out of the shotgun. looking right, and throw off the mark, incomplete on 4th down. So turnover on downs there. Goddard retains possession.
And that right there, that was just the throw was just off the mark there, and Caleb Harden not happy with that throw, but now the defense coming out onto the field. I'm excited to see if the defense come out here and stop this Goddard offense, because they know that they need to here. They need to stop them as quick as possible. Maybe try and force a fumble, or, you know, even if it's just a simple 3 and out, that's good enough for Valley to get that ball back and maybe march down the field and score.
Well, they've had a solid rest here after that drive, but this Hornets defense knows they have a lot to prove here on this drive, and they can be clutch on the defensive side, and this would really extend the game and make it much more interesting. Some shifting on the defensive line. Simrad out of the pistol, handoff to Reese, and he's stopped early by a swarm of Hornets.
And the Hornets really there just wrapping up Reese, and Reese couldn't really find a hole, so he just tries to push the pile of linemen and the defenders there, but Valley just pushes right back, and so no gain on that play, and Valley does like that right there, just not letting Goddard have any yardage on that play right there.
Well, and I mean, right now, the goal for Goddard is to eat the clock, and so that means run the ball. Hornets are expecting the ball to be run, but don't be surprised if they pull something out of their back pocket with a pass. You have to be prepared for that. Play action, there it is. Simrad looking over the middle, a seam route covered by Sharp. It's caught, and a touchdown. Goddard on that reception was Soren Carr, just took it over the middle, and Sharp on the coverage there. Just incredible throw by Simrad, touchdown to make it 29-13.
And right there, that is Carr's second touchdown of the game.
And Sharp injured on the field, so we will be back here in just a minute.
Welcome to Valley Center, a beautiful, friendly community just 9 miles north of downtown Wichita. Come discover Valley Center and take a walk through historic downtown. Check out unique restaurants, shop at locally owned businesses, or play around at Valley Point Golf Course. Valley Center is building on its proud heritage while welcoming new ideas, new businesses, and new families. Valley Center will exceed your expectations. Discover Valley Center, an incredible place to call home.
Whenever we go to a local event here in Valley, we all want good food for reasonable prices with a friendly face behind it. Well, luckily, there's an option, the food guy. Located in his signature truck, keep an eye out for him at the next public event you make an appearance at. Or if you're hosting an event yourself and want a friendly catering option. Or if you have other questions, you can call him at 316-253-8832.
One of a parent's biggest worries is letting their teen get behind the wheel of a vehicle. That's why getting professional, personal instruction is so important. The Wichita Driving School is licensed by the state of Kansas and offers the most classes per month of any driving school. With the most students trained in Wichita last year, it's obvious students and parents like Wichita Driving School for the convenience
and professional one-on-one instruction.
Wichita Driving School, where you're driven to be the best.
And Sharp walks off the field. Simrad fourth on the day. Some confusion on the field, just a quick 1 yard move from the PAT spot. So here's the kick, and it is through by Mackay Collins. Flag on the play again. do keep in mind there have been a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct. These are rival teams, and they are throwing words around. And neither of these refs have been happy. Actually, Coach Unrout mentioned to me at halftime that there was a player, I forget who it was, excuse me, it was number 13, Soren Carr. Had he had another unsportsmanlike conduct, he would be thrown out of the game and next week's game. So it is a rivalry, and that is to be expected, but it has been pretty crazy between these two teams, and we haven't seen much of it during play, but it's been mostly after play.
And you really, with these two rival teams, I'm not super surprised to see that because, you know, these two teams coming out here, and especially that Goddard's traveling and coming to Valley Center, I'm not surprised to see those two teams exchanging words, and there's been a lot of unsportsmanlike conducts tonight. And I'm frankly, I'm not very surprised to see those.
Well, and you have to keep in mind that a lot of these Goddard players were playing last year, were starting last year when Valley Center beat Goddard, and so they have a lot of hate built up about that, and they're not very happy about that loss, wanting to make up for it. And so a lot of times that happens, and words get thrown one way, they get thrown the other way, and so Hornets pretty much doing the same, and they've got plenty of unsportsmanlike conducts on their own. We might see another squib kick here from Collins. 3:42 in the fourth. Hornets team rallying, or the sideline at least rallying. High kick goes to Peach. He'll grab it, takes it over the middle, and good field position at the 48.
And now this offense coming back out here onto the field, they really just want to march down the field and try and cut this Goddard lead down. And Harden leading this offense will come out here. I wouldn't be surprised to see them airing out a lot of passes downfield to try and get a touchdown.
Well, and you can see the receivers were already set and ready to go. Twins to the right, one receiver to the left, two people in the backfield likely to pass block. Pass is bad. It's in the air and intercepted there. That was number 54, Landon Staley, and he just came out of nowhere to pick off that bobbled up pass. And that has to be one of the most annoying things about, or from a quarterback's perspective, is you make a good throw and it's not really your fault that happened. It's just a good defensive play.
And you know, that right there, like you said, Landon Stanley coming in and see that ball is tipped, so he thinks, you know what, I'm going to start coming down, getting that ball, and then start running back toward the end zone. So right there, that was just a good job of reading the tip right there and getting that ball back into Goddard's possession.
Well, 3:28 in this defense is back out on the field. Hoping to keep Goddard from scoring any more. Knowing Goddard, they will probably try and put it in the end zone once again. There goes Simrad dropping back. He's rolling out to the right, firing over the middle, and bobbled up. It falls incomplete. 3:21 in the fourth.
And that right there, tipped incomplete there by Nolan Bevan. It's a good job of getting in front of that receiver, jumping up and smacking that ball out of the air to get that ball out of play as quick as possible so the receiver does not jump up and grab that ball.
Well, and Bevan was the player who replaced an injured Hunter Sharp. Second down and 10. Well, and now after seeing that play, you have to be ready for Goddard to try to air it out again. They want the scoreboard to look as good as it can at the end of the game. They are not going to have mercy on this Hornets team. Off to the races is Bo Bance. Slides his way through for about 8 yards.
And Bo Bance really just finding that hole and attacking. And has not let up off the gas ever since the beginning of this game. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Goddard keep running it with him in this final drive to just try and eat at that clock.
Oh, and I mean, we've seen it a couple times. Bo Bance is so quick, he struggles to contain his own speed, but there just manages to contain it and fire through a hole. 2:40 remaining. Motion again. False start. And Simrad in the offense still confused about why that is a false start, as am I. No. Moves back to 3rd and 9.
And that right there, just pushing that offense back. Valley a little happy about that now, maybe so they can get a stop on this Goddard offense and just stop their momentum after that interception.
So 3rd down and 9 here. Receiver to either side, another motion. And Simrad looking to fire the ball once again to Jake Shope. And it's intercepted by Cade Wilson. He was having none of that. And even manages to get the step over Jake Shope.
And right there, Cade Wilson answering back from that interception by Goddard with an interception of his own. And right there, just run him down there with Jake Shope, who, like we were saying, is the best wide receiver on Goddard's offensive side. And so Cade Wilson staying with Jake Shope and then ended up catching that ball into the end zone. That was a great read there by Cade Wilson and a great catch.
Well, and Wilson, I mean, last time we saw him bat away that pass, but there was so much air under that, he had plenty of time to react, to get in position to catch it, and make the catch. Harden out of the shotgun. Looks to have some quick in his step. We might see the Hornets go deep here. A quick screen play to Stacy. Gains about 7 yards on that play. Under 2 minutes in this contest now.
And that little quick screen play to Stacy is a normal routine, what you see on 1st down, a little screen play out to the outside, now set up for a 2nd and 3.
So twins to the left. Harden pump fakes, looking for a lob to Stacy again. Looks like he got his toes in. And it is enough to be called complete.
And right there, that was a good toe-tap catch there by Hunter Stacy. That is just athleticism at its finest right there. Staying in bounds so you can move those chains and maybe get some momentum for this Hornet offense.
Harden out of the shotgun. He'll drop back looking left. Fires right for a go route. 2 defenders on him. Looks like a passing interference, and he will get the flag call. And as much as you hate to see that pass fall incomplete, sometimes a passing interference is just as good.
And Hunter Stacy was looking for that call, and he ended up getting it. And now this Hornet offense gets some better field position, and that's what they want going into this final minute of play.
Well, and simply, I mean, Hunter Sharp was looking to cut inside and realized with the ball how it was traveling, he had to stay outside, and so safety lost grip on him and ended up holding or pulling him off of his route. Cade Wilson checks in for Stacy. And twins to the left. I forgot to mention that 1st down brought to you by Chaos Apparel. Off to the races goes Harden. He has plenty of green to work with. And there he goes. A flag on the play. We'll await that call, see if it goes back or goes in favor of the Hornets. But a good play there by Harden, yet again showing off his legs.
And I like what Harden did there. Kept it for himself, and that he really is, like you just said, showing off his legs, and he is quick, and so he takes that ball and takes it for himself, and he gains a lot of yards there.
And I believe it is a holding, but fortunately enough, it is from the spot of the penalty. So would be subtracted 10 yards from the holding. It still will be a 1st down. 123. So it will be 1st down and 10 from the 36. Harden out of the shotgun. Twins to the left. He'll roll out to the left. Pressured early. Fires the ball up to Gabe Phillips. It's caught for a 1st down. About a gain of 15 on that out route.
And I'm pretty surprised that was really the first Nick action Gabe Phillips has had tonight, because he is a very talented receiver. And he's very strong with those hands, and he grabs that ball, and you know he's going to take it down and complete it.
And that 1st down brought to you by Alloy Architecture. Harden drops back, fires to the right side, slant route to Cade Wilson. It's complete.
And that little slant route is just chopping at these yards for this Valley Center team, maybe to get in that end zone and kind of cut back on this Goddard lead.
Under a minute here, and a masterful drive late in this game. Harden drops back, looking right for Wilson. Miscommunication. Thought he was going outside, but he cut inside for a post route. Falls incomplete.
That right there, just like you said, just a simple miscommunication. Caleb Harden thought he was going to go out to the outside, but instead Cade Wilson, decided, hey, I'm going to cut inside, but that's just simple miscommunication on that throw there.
40 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Hornets looking to punch it in for one last touchdown. Harden drops back, looking right, finds Wilson this time. Touchdown, Valley Center. And that touchdown brought to you by E-Cars.
And right there, Caleb Harden and his offense was not going to make that mistake again, and they just capitalized on that play that time and punched it in for 6.
So now it's 30-19 pending the point after try. The Hornets will maybe go for it. No, they won't. Harden jogs off the field, but still a solid drive late here in this game. And there's Sharp. It's through the upright, so 30-20 is your score. And certainly we've seen a lot of positives here to look at. As we saw last week, this team is getting much mentally tougher, and that is, I mean, they've had talent, they've had athleticism. It's just been the mental side of the game, and they're slowly improving. And, I mean, you get to week 5, week 6, and this is going to start panning out for victories.
And just like you said, I mean, look at the long run, you know. I think really Valley's going to learn from the mistakes that they made today, and they're going to learn from that, and then they're going to say, you know what, we're going to work on that in practice, and then come out next week versus Coffeyville and maybe capitalize and get a win then.
Well, and another thing to keep in mind as well, you are seeing two very different offenses from last week compared to this week. Last week was all run. I think there were 8 pass attempts in the entire game, and I think pretty much every play here has been a pass attempt for Kyler Simrad and Goddard, but these are two very different teams that they've been facing, and I think Coffeyville will be a little bit of a middle ground so you can learn from both of their mistakes from both games. So Sharp back deep to kick. This Goddard line, I know, pretty close to the 10-yard line. Out it goes. Simrad will let it bounce. And takes it down with 35 seconds. We might see them keep fighting, keep persevering, and it will come at some point.
And this is a very good game today. We saw a lot of different, you know, like you said, 2 different offenses coming out here. You know, Goddard's really relying on their pass game. And Valley, you know, they're trying the best of both worlds here. They're running it, they're passing it. And Caleb Harden and both Kyler Simrad both showing off their speed whenever they get out of the pocket. And I think all in all, it was a very good game.
So 35 seconds, and we will see a victory formation here from Simrad and company. He'll kneel it out. Ball reset, and that will be the last play of the game. 30-20 your score, and it's been a fun one. I've seen a lot of improvement from this Hornets team, but they still have some time to go. I mean, they have a solid game next week at home versus Coffeyville, and I'm really interested to see that one. They've improved 2 straight weeks, and as I mentioned, the offense they played last week was not the offense they played this week. They were 2 completely different offenses, so they can learn from both of those experiences defensively, and I'm very interested to see how to pan out. It will be live here on Hornet Studios, and we will see you then. I'm Caleb Rose, joined alongside by Caden Bastion, and have a great night.